From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial. Our power partners are 656, accessory partners Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner is none other than Aimlab. Your boy Aggressive is now back on the desk with the... I don't know how he's still alive, somehow. Okay, normally he's on my right-hand side, but now this time around he's not here.
Yeah.
So how is he still alive? I have no idea. It's gonna be salty. Back again to cast all 6 matches, and he's going to be really excited for this. Hopefully, the side of Velocity versus TEAMXO is going to be going down to those 6 games, because you got to remember something. Both of these teams, they are undefeated. They haven't lost a single game throughout the entirety of the gauntlet.
Yeah.
A single set, sorry, not a single game, because they have lost some games, but not their entire sets. So in that sense, you gotta remember that both Team EXO and Velocity, they have something to lose here. They're undefeated win streak, and whoever holds it strongly is gonna be the one to move on down forward. Let's head on down over to the crucial MVP standings here, Salty. Run us down through the standings here. We're gonna go through it really quick. Don't really worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. All fast, all dandy, because both of these players, Deathmaker and Sai, they're gonna be on the leaderboards here.
Exactly. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure that Paradox might have crossed his 500 mark. We're yet to update that as well, because he had an absolute cracker of a game in the last one. He led his team to victory. But Deathmaker as well as Saib, they're going to be in this one. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some heated duels, because Deathmaker has got 14 MVPs, he's leading the charts, 310 average combat score. This man is an absolute monster. Sai, on the other hand, has been leading the team as well as performing from the front. It's like when a captain serves his purpose, and I feel like he is going to be one problem in front of VLT if they really want to win this. This is going to be one final, which literally is not a final, if you understand what I mean. This was this is going to be a great showdown, Aggressive. I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Let's head on over to the playoff brackets. As I just stated, we're gonna be going through it fast for all you guys back at home, because we don't want this game to go down to a 12:30 roundup, because in a way both of these teams are very evenly matched, and as you can already see, the brackets, they've already shaped up really beautifully. We're gonna switch everything up right here and right now. Last team to go on down through. It all happens right here and right now, Salty. Whoever wins
Exactly.
this pushes themselves up towards the upper bracket finals.
Exactly. I
And
mean, the
that's it.
best part about it, Aggressive, I'm sorry to cut you off there. It's like we're gonna get our first grand finalist from this game itself, right?
Yep.
We have 2 more games apart from this one of which will decide the second grand finalist, and one of which is going to determine who the champion of Gauntlet Season 3 is going to be. And this game, Velocity versus TEAMXO, just like you mentioned, is going to be a really big one. I'm pretty sure, like, the lower bracket game, like True Rippers versus Enigma, was good, but this one just takes it a step ahead.
Now let's start it up with the team intros as we head down over into Team Velocity's side and see exactly what they're going to be cooking up for us. And in a way, I'll just have to say that their journey as a team, it's been remarkable. Yeah, they had their ups and downs, and with a couple of health complications from the side of Amaterasu, the team is not as strong as it used to be. But can we really say that? After such an undefeated win streak that they did have throughout the entirety of their gauntlet phase? No. They've been performing, they've been going through leaps and bounds of changes just to become better as a squad, and they're constantly evolving as well. Velocity in its current state, it's a complete and utter beast, but at the same time, when you consider the team just having a little bit of a pitfall here and there depending on their situation, how do you want to switch everything up? Because Velocity against Team EXO, it's going to be a hard fight, and I think that one man needs to step up the most in comparison to any other. So let's head on down over to the crucial MVP standings, sorry, player spotlight, and see exactly who's going to be the one to shine the brightest from their side. And it's going to be none other than Marzel. Marzel, he's been one of the most crucial players no puns intended, crucial players coming on down through from their side, primarily because he's on a Killjoy, he's on a Cypher, but does it really feel like that, Salty? No. The way
No,
he
it does.
frags, the way he get kills, the way he finds multi-kills and spray transfers. It's like I'm watching a duelist in in a hat and a trench coat.
Exactly. I mean, it basically is like Marzel. He has the soul of a duelist who kind of plays the role of a sentinel. And it's not like he doesn't do justice to the roles he plays. He is an absolute beast when it actually comes to defending, but he's an absolute beast when it comes to attacking as well. Look at those stats. I haven't seen a lot of Jet mains, a lot of those Raze mains pull off stats like that because 326, 244, 82 assists, and an average combat score of 216 being playing a sentinel role is just absolute insane. For sure, when he plays his backline things, he kind of tends to contribute with the help of kills as well. But I also love the fact that this man has got aggression when his team really needs. He steps up and he completely butchers down the opposition. We saw how VLT played the last game. We saw how VLT is just going from steps to steps, strides to stride, and Marzel has been a catalyst in helping VLT do that.
Now let's head on down over towards the intro for the side of Team EXO and see exactly what they've been cooking up for us, because this roster, I will be honest here, Salty. From their performances in season number 2 and after they have shifted on over onto season number 3, did you honestly believe they would have an undefeated win streak on the start of
No,
season number 3? No one believed that. They're
no.
undefeated and they're in the upper bracket finals, possibly hitting on down over to the grand finals if they take down Velocity. Last time around, they had the roughest of starts and they were the first team to get eliminated. And now, forget about elimination, they haven't lost a single set. And against Velocity, if they're able to take this win as well, they're going to be the juggernauts and they're going to be the ones everyone is going to be looking up to.
Exactly. I mean, also thinking about the fact that Team EXO, they came in from the group of death, Group B, and establishing that undefeated win streak on that group is something of an achievement in itself. And this team, the kind of way they've been performing, the kind of different things they have actually done to stabilize this squad full of aggressive star fraggers, it's absolutely insane. Sai taking up the different role, the initiative role, like Scally, Goes, all coming up together. Wimp and Blackhawk, they made this team an amazing, amazing lineup. We'll have a look at the player spotlight coming in from Team EXO as well. I'm pretty sure all 5 players. I really hope that they can actually punch in all 5 players and put it under one spotlight, but that's not possible right now. We've Wimp on the spotlight once again. Another KJ main. This man has been an absolute. I mean, for sure, I said the same thing about Marzel as well. There's nothing that I really want to deny about Wimp as well. His aim is literally one of the best. I would say with 355 kills, he has really helped his team from the front lines as well as much as he did from the back lines.
Wimp, honestly speaking, when we compare Wimp over towards the side of Marzel, me won't personally say that Wimp has the most insane level of, let's say, insane level of engagements in comparison to Marzel. He doesn't have a lot of the highlight reels, but what he does have is the consistency factor. If you need
Yeah.
an anchor, if you need someone that you can lean on, then Wimp is always that guy. Wimp, I will always remember his incredible clutches on the map of Byte, 1 versus 5 situation, pulled it through for his own squad and brought them to the spotlight every single time. And with all of those factors coming into play, Wimp is the guy that you really want to look out for the side of Team EXO if you're supporting their end. But for now, let's head on down over towards the map video screen and see exactly where the teams are going to be taking us, because personally speaking, both of these teams, they're strong on every single map, but there are some maps where it's a lot more difficult for them to
Yeah.
find a lot of value on, and I think that split for Velocity will be the most difficult one. In general, Deathmaker doesn't really have the best of days when it comes down to this map, but when he's having a good day, any team are going to tremble. But Team EXO, they did a smart move. Picking Deathmaker's worst map will give them a solid chance of winning out on map number 1. And even if they do lose out on map number 2, Icebox, that's going to be a coin flip.
You know what? Split is literally Team EXO's strongest map. Right? They love playing on the map Split. They love the way it actually works. They've got a really nice setup. They use mid almost perfectly, and it kind of counteracts how Velocity actually love to play it. Velocity leave mid. completely different. We will move on to the Asian selection screen, ladies and gentlemen, very, very soon. This is the upper bracket finals. The Asian composition plays a very key role in that one, and that is exactly what we'll have our eyes set on right about now. Helef picking up, confirming the Astra, Deathmaker on the Jet. You've got Blackhawk. Blackhawk surprisingly is not picking up Omen this time. He's picking up Astra, so that is going to be a change in tactics. Excali on the race, no surprise there. Sai on the KO. We know what's coming. Ghost might pick up the Sage, and Wimp might pick up the KJ if they stick to their defaults. On the other camp, we've got Vibor. Vibor is actually playing in place of Amaterasu, so that might actually hurt the team a little bit, but I'm pretty sure his Viper and his capability to get frags for his team and capability to hold the team together is always going to help him. Right to ace, no surprises with the Sky. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a battle of ideologies and mindsets. It's literally meta versus meta slapping each other. But I just want to find out which statistic or which approach actually comes out on top. What do you think, Aggressive? What is your thought?
I feel as though the Cypher versus the KO situation, you're talking about utility versus raw entry power.
Yeah.
The thing with KO is that it's really hard to take entries with him in general still, because if you're not able to get a lot of value out of the KO knife, then you're going to be in a pretty tough spot in general now, are you not? A lot of different factors are going to be coming into play in TEAMXO. They're going in for a strategy that is really good. It's a double sentinel composition. It's strong on the map of Split, but is it as strong as a double controller setup? Personally, I don't believe it, because both of these teams, they're playing a very defense-based composition, but EXO, they have a little bit more firepower with that KO, but the Sky kind of balances it out as well. So these are two different compositions that I'm looking at. It's going to be the old meta going in the side of Team EXO, with the new meta being Velocity. Which is better? This is a matchup that we haven't really seen in a pretty long time. So will the new meta be able to reign supreme? That's what we're going to get proven down here from both of these squads.
Exactly, and I can't really wait to find out, because this game is really high stakes. We talked about it. We're gonna get our first grand finalist from this game. Exactly right. We want to see who goes in the grand finals first. Is it going to be Velocity? Is it going to be Team EXO? The stakes are really high. Both the teams who have been undefeated throughout the group stages go against each other. Who is going to get the first loss? Who is going to get the first sense of defeat? I have no clue, Aggressive, but in 3, 2, 1, we kick things off. We have Velocity on defense. We have Team EXO on attack. And I want to find out what comes up right about now, because the knife point has been activated already. Team EXO, they want to start up quick. Helep, though, not really reacting to what Team EXO has been putting up near Garage. They're yet to kind of show some presence towards mid as well. They've got that place. They've got that presence towards A as well. So it's kind of VLT split up to the terms of Team EXO. Team EXO yet to decide where they want to commit, because the spike is way behind Aggressive.
Not gonna look that good for them unless they start to go in for an aggressive push soon enough. The dog's going in for the jiggles. What the dog doing, bro? He's gonna jump forward. He's not gonna be able to find anything. Gets a little bit of information at the bare minimum that two players are pushing up. But now with the fast rush coming on down through right to AC knows. He just gotta run away. But that was an incredible knife and a half coming on down through from the side of Sai. Gets a good amount of information as well. Two players get caught out. They're gonna need to give up Heaven, but still, they're running into the side. And this side thing's gonna be really difficult, but if Hellfire's able to survive, that's gonna be even better. Xcal is gonna be good for one kill. Win's gonna be able to shut down another. Right to Ace does find one for that trade, but still it's not gonna be a favorable one, because Right to Ace gets tagged down to almost 0 HP. It's a 4 versus 2 retake situation, and I don't think the side of Velocity, they're gonna be ready for this.
Exactly, Velocity. All of these three players funnel in from one particular direction. Now, that is not the ideal situation. Yeah, for sure, you can trade out a couple of times, but that is not happening. All of these players, they funnel in, and Team EXO, they clean them out of style. 4 players surviving. They retain all of their pistols, and that is exactly what they wanted. This is clean from Team EXO. What a nice execute. You looked at that mid presence. You looked at that A lurk. You knew that this is going to be their game, especially when they got that Heaven's control. Aggressive, it's really important to understand that VLT always love to give up mid, and EXO always love to thrive on mid. But VLT have a very specific strategy. They try and avoid collision at B heaven. They try and enforce B heavens as well as A heavens, so that even if you have mid control, you can't really get to any particular side, because if you do so, you have to welcome those trades that happen. But this time, Team EXO managed to win all of those trades on the back of one knife coming in from Sai, and that was perfect. You mentioned it was a knife and a half, and for sure it was.
Positions were beautiful, and Excali, he's trying to knock on the doors. Maybe he can get a peek out of him, but no. No one's gonna be going in for those shots yet, but still good double swing coming on down through from the side of Velocity. Gets that first initial kill on towards the face of Sai, but Sai, he still was able to pick up that ultimate orb. So in general, did you lose anything? Not much. One player for one, and you got the ultimate point. 2 ultimate points for free, so Sai, he's gonna be sitting pretty, and Wim, he's gonna be the one to try and defend all of the angry defenders trying to push him soon enough.
Yeah.
Positions are prime, flash is coming out, he's gonna be able to dodge it at the bare minimum, but right to ace? No, 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 no. He's not going in for the peak, he's gonna be playing it slow, and hopefully, just hopefully, Deathmaker by just one tap!
Oh no, this is problem. This
That was
screams
beautiful.
problem aggressive, because they have the spike at spawn. They've left the spike. They're playing this on the back of taking duels, but they've won nothing as of yet. They've got 1 kill on the back of 2 deaths, which is not ideal condition. Ghost has found his way towards Vent Room, and I'm pretty sure Deathmaker has no idea about it. Deathmaker falls down. This is not good as well. We could have actually capitalized on the situation. They are in the middle of nowhere, especially Team EXO. They're playing this in the back of fighting every single player and taking those duels. And if you do manage to play by time, I'm pretty sure Team EXO will take desperate measures. But that is exactly when Deathmaker peeks out and takes him out as well. Helef does a similar thing. Blackhawk takes him out comfortably. They're more calmly holding position, but Ghost comes in right behind him, right to ace, takes down Blackhawk. This is gonna be the key one. The spike goes down right to ace, comes up with a retrieved Spectre, shuts down Ghost. That was a headshot and a half, and this man, once again, you don't call him the clutch minister of the country for a reason. Right clutch.
He's got the title for a reason, man, but at the same time, did he just buddy hop his way forward? That was so comical. I need to see it again. Come on, I need to see it one more time. Just look at this man. He just gives no 2 dabs. He's like, hop, hop, hippity hop, boppity bop, goes to the head.
That is a Spectre for you. That is a Spectre. I mean, you can press those movement keys along with the firing button. That is one of the reasons why it's my favorite con, because they can actually run havoc in the servers with it.
Yeah, you can play a different game that's not Valorant when you have that weapon in your hand, so.
Jiggling around, but nonetheless, Team EXO, once again, they have to resort to their sheriffs, because right now they've lost their big guns, and Deathmaker is ready with his Vandal. All of these players funneling in. Deathmaker shoots right in between of those 2 players, midpoint, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to study maths, that is exactly what it is. But VLT, they've lost control of mid quite a bit. 4 players in that position. The spike is here as well. So this time, VLT, they've got to reinforce those entry points. 1 player taking down B Heavens basically means right to ace will have a lot more responsibility on his shoulders, and Mazel will have to kind of give up B main's control to kind of strengthen that B Heavens region. He has got the tripwires to work for, and Helep nice shot on Ghost, but Excali kind of trades him nicely. The pain shield comes through, but Vibor is going to climb up his respect Excali. Nice one from Vibor as well. A second game, almost a third. Should be an eco round, should be easy for VLT, but they've lost weapons already. The knife point comes in. Mazel will be suppressed, will be pushed back as well. The fragment is nice. Vibor kind of surrendering the position as well. EXO being given respect. I love this. I love this aggressive nature from EXO, but what do they do from now on? That's a question.
The positions are revealed, and Vibor, he's in the perfect spot to shut them both down. He heard the footsteps. He knows exactly what's up. Hold the corner tight and just wait for them to walk into your crosshairs. Pop. 1. He's not gonna be able to find that, but he does find it on the reswing. That's gonna be good for 1. Marcel takes on the other. 2-1 on the scorecards, and Velocity, they take a 2-1 scoreline for themselves after winning out on a Thrifty, mind you. So now, the side of EXO, they're gonna be sweating a little bit.
They're gonna be sweating bullets, because this is not what they expected. They expected this to be a sort of an early advantage for them. They almost always take that early advantage on the map split, but this time VLT have completely shut them down early on in the game, and this is not what you do. This is not what you expect in your best map, right? Team EXO, they're going to have 1 opportunity to come back, but there is going to be 1 problem. Deathmaker with his operator is peeking out in A main. If there is no flash, then it literally means death. Thankfully, though, they don't really have any flashes apart from the KO, who is there in the A side, so That's gonna be interesting. If Excali peeks out, Deathmaker will have no trouble sending this guy back to hell. But this is a very, very slow approach. EXO not even making any movements. This is the first movement that they make on the back of that knife point. And now the flashes come through. The smokes are down as well. Team EXO, they want to make their way towards Rams. That is what they want to clear first. But Deathmaker is all by himself inside. A Heaven is literally left empty apart from the sky. The flashes come through. The Trailblazer will give them some sort of information, and now it has been reinforced with Marzel back in position. Their station is going to be the key. Smoke dissipates. Marzel loses. Duel goes to wins one for himself. Vibor has been taken down. Marzel has been taken down. Only 2 players survive. The operator is going to be the key for VLT to save right now.
30 seconds left. Last player
It's just a
standing.
safe round for them.
Spike planted.
Velocity, they're just
Oh
gonna try
my
and hold
God,
it.
look at Excali.
No, Excali. He's trying to get all the information he possibly can, and here comes the hunters. Are they gonna hunt them down? Are they gonna be able to find them? Yes, the operator does go down, and Excali, he puts a final bullet into the head.
Name him the
of
BM King.
Deathmaker.
This guy is a BM King. Excali, he was just playing with his opposition. He was just playing with Deathmaker. He was like, hit me if you can, buddy. I mean, in a friendly way, of course. Friendly banter, but it was funny, to be honest, because Deathmaker was struggling over there. He couldn't really connect the first initial shots, and then there was like Excali was like, all right, I'm gonna shut you down. So this was a statement coming in from EXO, because right now they're already starting to play with the minds of VLT, more like their most important player, Deathmaker.
Maker walking straight up into a forward position. Just goes in, casually picks up the orb, but just walks away. Sure. Marcel goes in for a jiggle, and Excali gave away his position. And now Marcel, he knows that there's 2 people holding down through from the side of B main, because Wimp was the one who tried to pick up the ultimate orb. Now, Wimp, he just needs 1 kill. Anyone who walks into his crosser vicinity, if he gets popped, that lockdown's gonna come online, and you don't want this. Marcel, you need to be very careful of how you push this. Those jiggles could cost you your life, and if it does, that's gonna cost you an entire site.
Yeah, they've got a turret as a safety measure as
yeah,
well.
here we
Wimp
go. Yeah,
takes the first one right to Ace all by himself in the site right now. He's got Helef to kind of support him, but Team EXO, they've got a lot more space to work with. They've got the Prince towards mid as well. If they want to, they can take the spike and kind of explore the territory as well. But this is supposedly an ego round for Velocity. This shouldn't be that hard, but Team EXO, they are kind of paying them the respect, and I love this, because they don't really want to lose those guns, right? They want to
30
keep
seconds
it as
left.
much as possible. Right to Ace, really coming out clutch, but Ghost has a resurrection available. Wimp will be resurrected. Excali gets right to Ace. That's 1 man down. They still retain 4 players, 2 players, Deathmaker as well as Vibor. They will be tasked to bring this round back, which should be technically impossible at this point, but they can still play for some kills. And yes, Vibor will, but with a classic, this man takes on Wimp. Insane stuff.
Nice
Deathmaker
one.
does one same with a Sheriff this time around. This is perfect for them. Even though they won't really retrieve any weapons of sorts, or will they? Vibor has actually got an operator for himself. He really wants to
run
get
away,
with
save it. You can save the orb. That would have been perfect, but no, he's wanting to go in for the try. This is not a bad idea. Maybe he can find it before. If he just had a Phantom, this was very much possible. Good kill on towards the face of Ghost, was just not going to be the thing that takes on Excali. That's going to hurt, but still. That's a lot of damage being done over towards the side of the eco, though, in general, don't you think so? Because
Exactly.
now, without that eco, that's going to hurt even more for Team EXO as well. They're
It sticks
literally
like a
treading on
sore
their last...
thumb right now.
Yeah, they're literally just walking on their last legs. Are they going to try and move their way forward is the real question, because now that Deathmaker is back on his operator once again, as soon as he starts hitting those shots, as soon as he has the confidence, that's when the real velocity will start to show.
Absolutely, but the biggest fact is that Team EXO also lost a couple of pairs, right? So Team VLT managed to do one thing in the eco round, that was to keep the economy for EXO in check as well. Look at the economy, you know the Team EXO aren't healthy either. So either of these teams loses, it should be an automatic next round for them as well. VLT's Deathmaker will be pushed back on the back of that nice flash. Excali also wants to get more information on the back of that Boombot, which will be destroyed. Fragment comes out of this corner, Spatial as well. A lot of explosive power next, so they're pressing forward, trying to get control of Vent's room. They might eventually try and walk up towards the way towards A Heavens as well, but no. they kind of decide to go against it. The null command has been activated. Nova Impulse comes through as well. The Astra doing a lot of heavy lifting, kind of trying to delay the impending push that comes through. Helen tanking the time if he Lombard is push perfect and Wimp will get the kill. This man is absolute genius. EXO dominating in style. They've got control of the map. They've got control of how they're proceeding with things. Now they've got information of what these players are looking like, what the defense looks like. Nice showstopper. Mazel completely destroyed into pieces.
Oh my god,
Bar-
Excali, that's
I
a
love
BM.
Excali for a
That's
reason.
a
And
BM.
that is really a BM. The Peacemaker is going to shut that down. He's got too many players to deal
enemy
with. A class
remaining.
A, but that's not going to sing the songs of death because Blackhawk is in position. And now it's right to Ace once
10
again,
seconds
tasked with a
left.
clutch.
Spike planted.
40 seconds. What can he possibly do? He's got one flash and a heal, which kind of ironically does not heal himself.
Well, it's this guy. She's always there for her teammates, but for herself, he doesn't really care much. That's like me in real life, but sure. It's a 2-3 scoreline, possibly hitting on down over to a 2-4. It's gonna be rough, really rough. But in a way, I personally do believe that Velocity, even though this is gonna be difficult for them right now, they need to get a proper understanding of how all the members of TEAMXO are playing. What are they exactly doing to try and get these rounds? First of all, Excali is gaining way too much space, and no one's punishing him for it. He just goes in, dives in, gets the first kill. That's fine. But what about the trade? Someone is there for the trade, but the trades are being missed. Excali's not even using a lot of his own utility. He's just using his raw mechanical game sense and his confidence to just completely run down all of the members of Velocity, and that's a little bit of a question mark in my eyes. It feels as though Velocity, they're second guessing themselves way too much, and that's causing them a lot more problems than solving anything. They need to calm down.
Use this boom bot in ways which I kind of personally like. I mean, getting some sort of information, pushing back the operator players, pushing back, cleaning up certain regions. Is also kind of used up the pain shell in very innovative ways. I mean, his main target or his main area of focus would be mid, right? And he has used that pain shell to kind of clear out the vent room time and time again, especially after that smoke that comes in from the Astra. But one thing is for sure, his satchels are designated, like those are kept in a different shell. Those are specifically made for him trying to BM the opposition. That is basically it.
Yeah, dude, the way he's satcheling around all over the place, it's just on another level, the way that he's moving around. But for now, at least, I would say on this 2-4 scoreline, pushing forward for Velocity would be to just get as much value as they possibly can. Their eco rounds have been so incredible. Just watch every single eco round back, and you can see that they have a contingency plan. And the sheriffs are able to sing the song of death, but the rifles are not able to. It feels like a confidence problem. Like,
yeah,
for Velocity, they go all in, all out when it comes down to the eco rounds, but they play so laid back when it comes down to the gun rounds that they're making those mistakes. You need to have that confidence. You have incredible aim. Use it to the best of its own abilities and just pop those heads all over. But once again, it's just not working. But for right ways, anything's gonna work.
Exactly. Nice flash over there trying to delay Blackhawk. Oh! Brings up a knife at the wrong time. Blackhawk through the woodworks. Finds right to ways. That's going to be important. That's not the thing that he actually wanted. But, well, BO3, they take the L over there. Can't really help with it. Right ways probably was the only guy with a sort of a weapon in that situation. And now that has been taken away from them. TEAMXO.
30 seconds
they
left.
need to dominate, right? And this fake is actually really good. They've got the locked on position as well. There's only the boar in the site right now. They clean out almost every single territory, and it's just gonna wait for everything to kind of put in position. Now Vipor is completely in this clutch situation, right? He needs to take all these players out, or otherwise he cannot stall the plan. He gets one kill, that is the maximum. Blackhawk will eventually find him and go for the plan. Deathmaker with the knives will have a monumental task ahead of him. He needs to check all those angles. Basel with the camera.
Marcel gets caught out though. His positions are not gonna be good, and Blackhawk, that's a fast swing and a half. He's gonna be good for one. Left gets another one. Marcel, he's gonna be able to shut down one more, and now it's all up to Wimp. His position has been revealed. They're gonna swing him one and one. Swing
One.
one. Still left. Swings out with the operator, gets the final kill. Insult to injury with that 150 damage bullet, but still, overkill is good in comparison to no kill. And with that, 3 and 4, they make it happen in another thrifty. They won every single round that they won were thrifties.
Exactly, man. The confidence on Helef to pick up a retrieved operator and go for that final kill, it's absolutely incredible, right? Even if they are like 2 rounds down really early in the game, they are backing themselves up, and that is what I love about this team, especially Vibor. Did a lot of heavy lifting in that side, especially when the lockdown was put into position. The nanoswarm comes in to kind of clear out every single territory that has not been covered by the lockdown. The back of side was completely cleaned out, but it still finds a pocket of space in that crunch situation. Flashes come through. We move on to the 8th round right now, and right at the get-go we have a Viper spinning position. It's all green in mid, ladies and gentlemen. The Boombot though will still try and invade, but I'm not really sure if TEAMXO will be adamant on pushing forward, because this basically is a recipe of disaster. The pain shell though will deal a lot of damage on the right two ways. 50% HP for this man. Team VLT, what can they possibly pull off? Because their defenses and sights have to be really, really good. Deathmaker, especially with that operator, is gonna be the real key right now. Do they have the utility to shut him down, block him out? The stars are gonna be important. They've placed 1 star already. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a smoke from the Astra, but a reverse smoke comes in as well. No line of sight for either of them. Flashes come through. Helef completely blind. He needs to kind of pull out his socks at this point. No, Wix kind of cleans up all of them. Deathmaker with the Sheriff. Blackhawk still not aware of his position. Will actually go for the plant. Gets taken down. Will get Scally as well. Deathmaker finds 2 frags. Wimp actually manages to find a trade, but this man needs to find clutch right now. Yes, he does. Marzel on very low HP, but finally in 1v1 situations, a player spotlight. Marzel versus Wimp, and Wimp just cannot really shine in front of Marzel, can he?
Yeah, the player spotlight versus... We talked about this, that Marzel, he's just a cut above the rest when he has that information. Wimp, the swing really did not favor him. Crosshair placement was there, but he just couldn't readjust in time. Marzel had the better one. And with that, that's the 4 and 4 scoreline that we were expecting. This round, though, was super close, and both of these teams are at each other's necks. You can already see the rounds are going down to 1v1s. Let it be ecos, let it be buy rounds. It's always happening. The amount of pressure that they have, the amount of pressure that they're giving is absolutely incredible. But Wimp, no. You're playing with fire. You need to be careful, especially against Deathmaker's operator. I know he's not been hitting as many shots with the op, but now that he has the confidence, now that he's warming up once again, it's gonna get difficult. But Excali, he's already entered into the side. Check your left, man. Check your left. Marcel, he's dead. Wait, no! I jinxed it! Okay, now he's dead.
Absolutely. TEAMXO though, really strong in their determination to push forward in that A site right now. They're even in the eco round, finding so much space and finding so many post-1 positions it's absolutely nuts. Right to ace, his abilities will be disabled, and Excali will decapitate his head away from his shoulders. Wimp leaving that angle can actually cost him quite a lot. The turret will position for a backstab, but he needs to check the rams before breaks that wall, breaks the barrier orb, tries to clean out the cubby as well. The snake bite isn't as good. Sai with the Sheriff. This is absolutely insane. Helef takes down Sai though. 2v2 right now. Eco round versus rifles. They don't even have retrieved weapons. Deathmaker as well as Helef start making their way in. Ghost takes down both of them, and TEAMXO win this eco round. Who expected this aggressive? This is absolutely nuts. What a game we're having.
No clue. I really don't. Somehow these players are winning out on all their eco rounds, but as soon as it comes out of the buy rounds, it's like a complete 50-50. Not even a 50-50, it's like a 70-30 split every single time. But on eco rounds, it's like an 80-20. Tell me why, when, and how this is even happening. I thought buying better guns gives you a better chance of winning the rounds. But in this case, I don't think that's happening. And once again, Deathmaker, he nearly killed Sai with his Sheriff while he was on his off. What?
Well. It's a hand cannon for a reason. A hand cannon that screams confidence. A hand cannon that also decapitates. It can blow off your skull off your head. It can also break your backbone if you don't use it correctly. If you do so, you're the king. You're the king of all hells. Vigor in mid will activate his toxic screen. And now the operator sort of disabled because there is no line of sight. But Ghost actually falling back to sewers. This is bad. Team VLT kind of overextending,
my God,
waiting
they
for
just
this
walk
to
in.
peek out. Sai has been taken down. Ghost actually finds a trade. Helen with the sheriff once again. How are all the sheriff kills coming in? Wim finds another frag, but right to ace with the sheriff once again takes down Wim. This is all a trade game right now. The mid turns into a graveyard of bodies. All these soldiers fall down. Meanwhile, Blackhawk sneaks into the A side. Places the stars carefully. The Seekers are out, but I'm pretty sure the Seekers wouldn't be useful because Blackhawk's position has already been pinged. They know where Blackhawk is already, but Excali. He can be the real difference maker. Spots Marzel. Marzel not really connecting the shots with the Chef. They're 2v2 right now. The spike will certainly be planted, but can they go for a retake? That is the question because right to ace has a Vandal, but Marzel doesn't.
Walking straight in. This is kind of dangerous. Be careful, take it slow. But with the corner hold already being given, they have the elbow control, but Marcel, wrong time to go out to the camera, my man. Especially out in the open. He's gonna pay the ultimate price for us, and once again, the clutch minister of our country.
One flash.
He's gonna go in. Just one flash, but I don't think he's gonna use it. He doesn't want to give away the info of which side he's gonna be coming from. This is dangerous. He's not gonna pop the flash, and there's not really a lot of time. He's only here to do the damage. Just 2 kills. If he's able to find this, it's gonna be massive, but still
Wow,
he's walking backwards. And he still
Wow.
cover streams that shot, but no, they die! What? Hello?
Poor TEAMXO. Poor
Hello?
TEAMXO.
What just happened in this round?
At least they got the round for themselves. Forget about the guns because I'm pretty sure they've got the money to actually buy for more. Yeah, they definitely are struggling in terms of economy because a few of those players, they have like 12, 200, 500, 400 creds on them. And I feel like they're fine. The way they've been approaching the game, it's absolutely brilliant. Excali is just showing up on this map and he's really leading from the front. This man is on 15-5-2 already and he's got a showstopper up and running. And we're just playing the 11th round aggressive. This can be the Excali show. The boom bot once again sort of gives away a little bit of position. But you know already, right? This is VLT default. You know 2 players are going to hold B heavens. You know 2 players are going to hold A heavens as well. You really need not use the boom bot to actually get more information. But it kind of acts like an insurance policy. Elsewhere, a lockdown has been deployed. Once again, flashes come through. They really want to make this way in, and now it comes the showstopper, which eventually will get nobody because there is nobody in sight. Astral Divide, once again, as an insurance policy, they've got the complete sight for themselves. The plant will go down, wall goes up as well, takes away CT, completely Deathmaker, completely blocked off, and they are going to play this from absolute perfection. I mean, look at the null command as well. It kind of blocks away all those abilities. So even if you try and violate the astral wall, you just cannot.
It's just not gonna be working out for you, especially now that Wimp is right around the corner. The flashes are gonna be good, and Wimp is gonna be able to get both of those heads. He's just gonna be the executioner, just slice it off in a clean fashion. But Deathmaker, he's his own executioner. He's looking to go in for this kill. He should be able to find it as well. Just stick it, but no, the spams are gonna be so much better. LF, he's gonna be good, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for him. There's more than enough time. You can just wait it out. Going for the full defuse, it's just not gonna work. Not against the side of Sai. He's gonna be able to get the kill, but it's just not gonna happen. 4 and 7 on the scorecards. And TEAMXO, they're looking to close out this half on a 4 and 8 score.
Last round before the
Yeah,
switch.
what a comeback it has been. What a statement it has been from TEAMXO, especially after losing those 2 rounds initially. Like, I thought that when it was 2-1, TEAMXO were probably second guessing, but you were right. It's Team VLT who is actually second guessing right now. Their retakes have been taken down. A very expensive round for TEAMXO in terms of ultimates, but it was a penultimate round in the half, so it doesn't really matter anyway. They still got 1 resurrection available. They still got, I think they've got, none of the ultimates are pretty close. So TEAMXO, they look to be really strong. This is going to be one equal round for Team VLT, especially in the last round of the half. So not really the healthiest position for them to be in. Deathmaker has to resort to his knives. I'm pretty sure he is capable of pulling off an ace with that itself, but we need to find out if that actually happens. Once again, a mid-focused entry coming in from TEAMXO. On the other side, we've got a B push coming in from VLT, trying to get as much information, as much real estate as he possibly can, but this kind of backfires because Deathmaker falls down to his grave right to ace, can use those flashes, can take down Wim, but Blackhawk, if he peeks out, it is going to be an interesting duel. Versus right to ace wins it every single day of the week. Flash comes out, pushes back Blackhawk, but right to ace. Very disciplined. This is what experience gives you, right? TEAMXO, they recuperate and they want to fall back towards the B side. They've got the resurrection available, so Wimp has another life for himself. This gets as interesting as it progresses, as we progress into this round itself. 4 players. You look at this, VLT completely splitting the defensive part, which basically means a lot of responsibility will be on Helef, just holding back this side. But right to ace, how did he manage to find a kill on Excali? And this is exactly the hunting ground for Helef finds it to lat. Right to ace finds third for himself. Vibor cleans him up. Oh my god, a 7-5. Nobody expected this, but TEAMXO.
Switching sides.
Wow.
Dude, that shot on Excali's face. Oh my god, he was just flying through the air and right to ace just snapped on it. I know my observer didn't catch it, but I did. I switched off the cams really quick by accident. I was on right to ace thinking that I was still on the main observer cam. But oh my god, that shot was nutty. Oh god. Excali was traveling through at the speed of light and then Excali's like, I'm activating my Sharingan right now. I'm watching you. Flies through the air, just flicks up a casual flick and a tap to the forehead and he's gone. Excali, he felt that.
Right to ace activates the Sharingan as well as executes Excali with the Shidori. This time though, it is going to be the second half, but a really intense first half on the map split, ladies and gentlemen. VLT, they were looking to dominate, but it has kind of been overturned, but they are still in the game. This has been a really good half. Once again, a really nice execution of the barrier orb right there, trying to block away any sort of access towards the B heavens area, trying to discourage them to kind of fall back and tunnel vision them. But I'm pretty sure VLT are adamant enough to actually force their way forward. No, wait, they're actually moving towards rope rooms. This is nice, but they do expect it. And the KJ is in position as always. Wimp, we know how good of an aimer he is, and he knows the barrier orb has been in position. He knows players are gonna pop off from that rope, and as soon as they do, bullets are gonna be fired. But wait, what? Deathmaker finds Wimp?
Tarzan Gaming.
Tarzan Gaming, for sure. 4v5 right now, VLT. They've got to decide where they want to hit. It's going to be the A side because the spike is there. They've got that presence towards mid as well. And they can reconsider any single time. But Coast actually just that. And Excali finds another one. This is basically it. Now it's a bird without one wing in Team VLT. They make it work. They get their way towards the A side. But a retake is already in the works right now. Will they find themselves positioned? They got to play this really aggressive. And Marcel does it. Trying to focus himself towards CT right now. An early contact against Blackhawk, wins it and kind of falls back, but he's taking a lot of damage. Now that's going to cause problems because Sai peeks out right now. Vibor will be under pressure. If Mazil does die in this position, I'm pretty sure the retake is on the cards.
7 and 5. It's a couple of kills! So he nearly pulled it off as well, but still Vibor's gonna be right around the corner to go in for that trade. Spots out the head of Excali, and he's like, oh, do I go jiggle? Do I go swing? Excali's gonna be gone for 1, but Vibor just swings out and immediately slaps him with the right click straight to the forehead. 6 and 7 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. They make it all work, and Velocity, they're now back in the game once again.
Excali did dink him over there, but it's a classic right click, the coveted classic right click, and that did the trick. Perfect for Team VLT as they make their way towards equalizing the score line. Now they've got Spectres to work with. They can live, they can fight for days at this point against some petty pistols. Poor little pigs from TEAMXO is what Team VLT will be thinking them, because they've got the superiority in terms of weaponry. TEAMXO though, they will be trying to play this in the back of some really good trade game. Talk about trades, they are the master of it because they've stationed 5 players in mid. Now this is something interesting. This is something which I've never really seen. There is no utility. There are just 5 players waiting to trade the hell out of each other. One smoke being pulled back. Tiger comes up. Where is it? The pain shell kind of pokes it. Another player goes down, but Wim finds one frag at least. Deathmaker though did find 2 before he actually died over there. It's interesting because Marzel still wants to press forward, but this can also result in more deaths. The classics damaging Marzel quite a bit, 58 HP for this man, but they've actually made their way towards the site. Blackhawk being taken down. Helef once again with the Spectre, really good, and this should be spiked now.
Have the positions ready, and now it's Sai's turn to maybe do a little bit of damage, but with that classic, how much more can he hope for? He's trying to find something, but
just give him the Spectre. Just give him the Spectre, Wim. Oh, he's gonna find one of his for himself.
what?
Sai.
How did he get the kill on mid? He
Yeah,
just swung out and just casually 2-tapped Marcel, and Marcel's like, wait a minute, what? How do you know I'm here?
Well, awareness, Universe taught me one thing in the first game at least. Wim is going to wide swing, find right 2 aces. He's going to wide swing once again, gets position on Vibor, takes him out. Will he get a third? Not really. But it's going to be interesting because it's a 1v1 right now. No time for Sai, but at least he can actually cause damage. Helef trying to escape from the situation. Sai trying to stick in. He doesn't really have the time. 3 seconds. It's just 3 seconds too late, but it's fine. I feel like VLT, they suffered quite a bit. This was an eco round for TEAMXO, and they played it to perfection. That mid control was once again the key for this team, and it kind of worked like a charm. Aggressive.
I'll do the Astral Guardian things as per usual. Nothing much is gonna change there now, is it? But for now, let's just see what we can expect coming on down through from the side of Velocity. That last round, it was a little bit costly, so in that sense, going in for buys would be the much more better idea, but still they're just investing on those Spectres. They're not going to be giving anything away. The investments have been made, and this is a massive one as well. Because now, with the pushes prime and all of the positions revealed slowly but surely, they need to make their way up. Mid control, not yet established, and I believe that TEAMXO, they're just going to give away mid. They don't care about this, but they have a strong side hold on both sidelines that they can just wait for it. They don't have to worry about a single thing.
Yeah. Ghost is stationed on B heaven with the wall in position. He can actually deal a lot of difference. He can actually do a lot of damage. The alarm bot triggered, which basically means you give away information about your position in rope room. I really want to understand what can Team VLT do from this position, because they've got control of mid, but this is something which VLT do themselves, right? They give away control of mid, but they kind of position themselves in B heavens, trying to reinforce it, waiting for players to pop off from mid, and that is exactly what Ghost is doing right now. He's waiting for Deathmaker and challenging him to take this duel. Ghost actually falls back, and that is good because Deathmaker right now, as well as the rest of VLT, they can actually make their way forward. Ghost makes his way in, finds one frag, good work there. Deathmaker finds 2 for himself. He's restabilizing the team. At this point, it's still a 3v3 and no team has a real lead at this point. Before finds Vim, and Vim spots him as well. Toxin screen. I mean, pardon me for that. Snake bite. This will be really important. Helef takes both of them down. I didn't even catch that. Probably was a straight transfer. Wimp has a lot of responsibility, but TEAMXO are gonna fall. Team VLT take the lead, probably for the second time in the day. That's okay because they take the lead in a really crucial juncture. At this point, economy as well as momentum is going to swing like crazy aggressive, and I'm ready for a roller coaster ride. I'm pretty sure the audience is ready for a roller coaster ride as well.
It's now or never. 8 and 7. Do you know why I said now or never? Because Velocity, they need, and I repeat, they need to set their lead right here and right now. Take that 9 and 7,
Yeah.
Send it down over to the 10 and 7, otherwise they have no way of winning this. If this is a thrifty for the side of EXO, the confidence that Velocity have built up is just gonna fall down and it's gonna shatter into a million pieces, and there is no way they can pick those pieces back up.
Yeah. True.
So they need to be
Absolutely.
scared about this. This round is pretty much the penultimate round. If
Oh,
they
no.
don't win here, it's over.
Excali trying to push out. It can be problematic for Deathmaker, but he's got cover from Marcel as well. So it's not that bad, but here he comes. Deathmaker taking down Excali. Team VLT still trying to respect Team EXO's existence, still trying to respect the amount of manpower that they have. Investing in an ultimate like a neural theft in this position is still a victory. I feel like for the side of Team EXO, they can keep this clean, right? They can get a few kills, probably deny the plant as long as possible, try and beat out all the ultimates they have, probably even the Blade Storm, but I don't think that Jetmaker is going to use the Blade Storm anyway. Helef finds Sai over there. Helef finds Blackhawk as well. The Vandal just doing its work. Ghost finds Reborn.
30 seconds left.
One frag for them to work with. Now he's a Phantom as well. He can get more kills if he wants to. He can also save the Phantom, but he doesn't need to because he's going to find himself money to work with next round anyway.
Now, it's just Ghost's turn. Maybe 2 kills, maybe 1. That's pretty much all that he can hope for. But in this current situation, maybe he's just going to get Helef. But even that's not going to be the case here. Helef, he just knows. Jiggles out left, moves to the light, and just pops a bullet into his skull. The Phantom's not going to be able to get saved. And on this 9-7 scoreline, Velocity, they're just going to be sitting pretty. They're going to be looking at EXO and being like, you're going to come to me or I'm going to come to you. And in this situation, EXO, not even an operator on their hands. They need something. It feels as though their defensive side is a little bit too telegraphed, with Ghost playing very, very passively with that Sage. Maybe a much more forward Sage play, a little bit more of utilization of utility on towards the side of mid to slow them down, because the mid control being given away is hurting them a lot. And Team EXO, they just can't win like that. But Marcel, he actually swings out, gets a kill on Whip before he gets traded. How? Why? What?
No idea. That was like a snap, and we lost 2 players already in this round itself. 4v4 looks healthy, but at this point, Team VLT are the stronger team because they've got control over mid, right? The Sage has actually fallen back, so now you know you've got control over B heavens as well. There is that presence towards B main, so they can still work this pincer together. But instead, they take control of the rope rooms, they get some information, they fall back, they make some noise, and knife point comes in. Spots only 1 player, I guess. Team BLT still not moving forward, still waiting to actually play for picks at this point. Now, this is interesting because Team EXO aren't really moving. They're really disciplined in their approach at this point. They're waiting for Team VLT to step on the pitch, step on the main hunting grounds. That is where they'll start their aggression. But I love this approach from Excali as well, because the read from him is absolutely pitch perfect, but he does not get the frag. Deathmaker finds him. Here it comes, the Astral Divide. The smoke will pop out as well. Deathmaker makes his way into the site and has cleaned up all those corners. The Nova Pulse, the smoke, everything as an added information, as an added insurance policy. Deathmaker with the knives, taking elbow control for him. For Ghost, this is going to be a really big problem. The Trailblazer gets some information of what the present situation looks like. Flashes come through from both the ends. Ghost makes his way in, but still there is no contact. Now he comes. Deathmaker as well as Ghost will exchange duels. And all in all, it was Vivor and Deathmaker who actually clean things up. It was 3 quick kills in a flash, which I did not even track. But Team VLT clean sweep the hell out of Team EXO, and you mentioned it rightly, Aggressive, that this was the time when VLT actually extend their lead, and they did so. 10-7 is the scoreline, and Team EXO, they've been forced into multiple ecos once again. The momentum that swung away from Team EXO just never really seemed to return, because in the second half, it's been 5 back-to-back rounds for Team VLT, and they're just doing magic in their attacking side. What are they doing differently?
Thing is, look at Velocity right now and the way that they're taking these engagements. Do you see how they're isolating every single 1v1 and also utilizing their own abilities to give them a little bit of information? They're playing purely based upon information, and the fact that their utility is gaining space. Just look at how Wimp reacted in this situation.
Oh no.
Wimp literally gave away different sidelines, and this is what's really causing the issues. They're waiting inside of corners, they're giving away these fights. They're not setting up the crossfires, they're not trading off of one another. And this is what's really hurting them. EXO, they're falling apart because of this. They need to be careful. Ghost got spotted out as well. His legs got shown, and Helef's gonna be the one to get that kill.
Yeah,
it's a 2 versus 5. I understand that they don't have guns. This is an eco for them, ladies and gentlemen, but at an 11-7 scoreline, even the ecos matter a lot. You need to get some form of value. 4 kills. 4 kills need to be there. Otherwise, it's just not going to be working out. Look at the money. Just look at the bank of velocity, Salty.
Yeah, like you look at the timeline, man. 6 back-to-back rounds. What more do you expect, right? 6 back-to-back victories for Team VLT. I mean, even if you look at the other camp, for sure the kills kind of look healthy, but then they couldn't really translate those kills into healthy round victories. One of the reasons why TEAMXO have been suffering in the second half. Like, I haven't seen them suffer in the defensive round of things on the map split quite a lot. They're generally really good on the defensive side, but suddenly something has actually happened, and I'm not really sure what. They definitely are struggling in trying to take those duels. I mean, Excali has been good against his former mates of VLT, but apart from that, even if they're engaging in the duels, they are being instantly traded off. The trade game for VLT has been much superior to that we have seen from EXO, apart from one eco round, of course, which we got to see late in the first half. Excali with the operator is going to take down one player. That's 1 kill for them. That's 1 kill in the right direction. But Deathmaker immediately stabilizes the team. But EXO, they're going to miss their controller. No smokes for you in a retakes. Deathmaker, though, does have complete rope control. As soon as he hears any sort of sound cues, he's going to take down Ghost. I'm pretty sure about it. Excali holding down side basically means VLT can't really enter it as of yet with the operator in position already. They've got that mid presence as well, but they're just waiting for these players to pop off. And Ghost definitely is popping off all of these players, just coming right into his crosshair and giving his life away to them. Excali's going to find a second one for himself as well. And there's only one player surviving. That's going to be Helef. Excali gets some information. And once again, he's going to use his movement to his advantage. This man jumps and dances around the pitch. There's just 1 kill that Helef will get, and Ghost adds 3rd to his tally. This man has been absolutely brilliant, but think about it. TEAMXO, if they start their mount to come back from this point on, another round victory basically means that VLT, their confidence will be shut down, and we are going to be coming back to ground zero because the round buffer is going to come back to 2. A 2-round buffer basically means it's a very healthy scoreline aggressive. And the back-to-back 5-6 round victories that Team VLT had in their favor is going to get nullified.
They just need one more. And they're finally back into the game once again.
Exactly.
Even though this round was a little bit costly for them, I personally believe that Ghost and his resurrection will be the main difference maker. But Ghost used his wall down towards the side of A. So that's going to nullify the lurk from Marcel, but Marcel should be able to get a good amount of information as well if he just breaks down the wall. He's going to be giving away so much info that all the members of Team EXO, they're going to get really scared. Maybe Marcel's coming on a lurk. Maybe there's a push heading on down over towards that A side. And with all of that overload of information, that's going to give them that edge that they need to make themselves move forward. But for now, at least, utilities being thrown out, that's being traded in. But now Marcel, it's his turn. He's gonna start walking past.
Oh,
He's
no.
taking so much damage. The spam! But the spam's not even gonna matter because Blackhawk just casually taps him out of existence. Poor old Marcel gets killed before he even sees a single person.
What are they going to do about mid, though? That is the question. Because this time, they've not really used a Sage over there. They didn't use a barrier or with mid. They've got a lockdown in place already. It's nice, but if the board casually walks to the side, takes away Wim. That's interesting. You can also use a Malcolm, nice flash, but Deathmaker is there. Sai being completely traded and completely overwhelmed before once again finds the second frag. Team VLT. This is superior dominance. They're establishing themselves as the Supremo. Ghost, you mentioned about it, the resurrection. Really the key in
Oh,
this
he
one.
reloaded. Helef, you should have reloaded.
Yeah, he wants to eliminate any sort of lurk coming through Helef. Being completely pressured over there. Ghost, let's have the heal to stabilize himself. Blackhawk coming in from CD. He's gonna find Deathmaker as well. Team EXO taking strides in the right direction. We just need a few more. Viper Spade invested. Right 2A is getting Ghost. Is gonna be a really important kill for them. 2v2, this can still work out, but they need to move inside that Viper Spade, where of course it's dangerous territory. VLT, they were never losing that round, and they get match point for themselves, or rather map point, as they move towards 12 and 8. This gets really interesting from this point on, because Team EXO, they were looking strong. They looked like their comeback should be possible, But Ghost putting up that wall towards the A side was a big gamble, which did not pay off. They gave away mid, and Sai was just too overwhelmed in that position. The barrier orb, the slow orb, the ice orbs, they kind of push back that mid aggression really well, which the KO just possibly can't. You can use the flashes, but we saw what happened, right? There were other players who traded him really well, and Team VLT, their trade game is always on point, so you just cannot stop that mid aggression with a KO.
Trying to spot out one of the heads, and he's gonna be able to find out. Ghost, you need to play it safe. You cannot even jiggle corners like these. Those are pre-fireable angles, but still, like, Scally? Where did that grenade even get thrown from? He just threw it from vents and got a casual kill on the Deathmaker. 1-for-1 trade, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a really favorable trade as well. A Jet for a Sage, you'll take that any day of the week.
Maybe not really sure about that, but alright to Ace gets some information, spots one player, and Blackhawk will get before, but has no idea that Marzel has actually creeped his way in as well. Hat's been taken off, Neurothreat comes in, gets some information, but Sai has a judge to work with. This is really not favorable situation for TEAMXO. They are struggling in case of economy. They will get some retrieved weapons possibly, but making this work is going to be really difficult. Got Nanos wants to work with as well. Excali as well as Wimp will be the key protagonist in this retake. Right to Ace. His positioning is always the key, always unpredictable. Gets the first one.
What?
The showstopper just does not work. Marzel finds another one. The showstopper was really weird. I mean, I understand Excali was paranoid that there's somebody directly underneath him, but this man, look at this man. He's at 14 HP and he snaps onto Marzel like a charm. He snaps onto Helef as well. He clutches it out. He's a time defuse as well. TEAMXO, they are not going anywhere. This is their map, and we make it 12-9. This is fabulous. This was sort of expected. I credited Wimp to be one of the best aimers that I know, and Wimp kind of shows up in style. This man always does it. Just look at this. That was sweet. It was sweet. He has the composure to find Helef from where he's going to come from. He has the awareness, and he's got the time, all the time in the world to defuse the spike as well. TEAMXO, they make it 12-9 aggressive. What do you think? Team VLT, can they possibly mount a comeback? Or TEAMXO?
I don't know how they do it. I really don't. Look at the swings, look at the fights that they take, and it's just going out over and over and over again. They're constantly in this engagement, and they're constantly just switching up their strategies as well. The hero plays from TEAMXO is what I'm really loving. They're showing up when pretty much no one else can. Let it be Excali, let it be Wimp, Go, Sai. Everyone is there to do what they can and do their part to try and bring this one back. But still, is it gonna be enough here? They need to dig in deep. They need to do a lot more to try and find out this win, because Velocity, they're at the finish line. They're just like inches away from it.
Exactly. Look, at this point, TEAMXO, they don't really have that safety net to fall back on. One small error and they will give away their map pick to Team VLT, which they definitely cannot afford. They can still fall back. They can still fight their way from like the lower bracket, the decider finals, back to the grand finals. But I'm pretty sure both the teams will be fighting for a direct slot to the grand finals, and this is very high stakes for both of them. 5v5 still, 30 seconds on the clock. VLT almost equal to 0 crown clearance for them. No real estate whatsoever, but Vibor will eventually make his way entry. The dock screen, the poison cloud facilitates this.
Oh, you saw the gun barrel, right?
Sprays come through and Ghost finds the frag out of the war. That's one important player down. Blackhawk just waiting for these players to pop in, and as soon as they go down to the plant, I'm pretty sure the triggers are going to come through as well. The bullets are going to come through right to Ace. Finally finds Blackhawk. Here it comes the Seekers. Helef going for the plant. The Seekers are there as well. Excali finds the frag. Helef finds another one. Excali, it's so sublime. It's literally sublime at this point. Aggressive.
He doesn't know. Sai's dead. Sai's dead. Wait, no, Sai's alive. The judge is just a better weapon.
In that situation, of course, yeah, for days.
No, the judge is always a better weapon. Don't even say anything about that. But
Oh yeah, for
look at the
sure, for
positioning.
sure.
Helef, you're playing with fire. Helef, this is such a bad idea. If you don't get into proper position really quickly, this could just be horrible. He should be able to get into the proper spot. The stun comes on down through as well. He just needs to get the diffuser kill. Take it! Find it! Quick!
He does find it, but a little too late, and
Oh,
surrenders
no.
settle around to TEAMXO. They were really close in closing out the map of split, but Helef. That
This was
emote.
such a dangerous play, man.
One
Like,
second, peeps.
do you know
I
what
gotta
happened?
visit the Astro to
Yeah.
piss
And I understood, right? He rotated all the way coming back from like CD to
No,
heaven.
no, I think he misplayed it a little bit. He used his pull and then his stun. His stun would have been better for the first initial take,
Okay,
and then
yeah,
he could have used his
that's
pull.
right.
I think he
Yeah.
misplayed it a little bit, or it could have been intentional. I don't know, but the better play would have been to just use the stun, scare them a little bit, and then use the pull in succession, so that
Yeah,
you get a little bit
exactly.
more time to go in for a proper rotation and a flank. It would have been perfect, but I don't know. I guess he just panicked under the pressure. Helef doesn't make mistakes like this, so I'm just gonna give him the fat finger of a doubt.
Yeah, true that. True that. Absolutely true. But this one is going to be really close. Look at this, Excali. Here's a George, your favorite weapon, and Martin is going to peek out. An easy victory for him. He can also retrieve a Vandal if he wants to. There's a locked on position already in that B side. Right to Ace knows that there is Excali trying to guard down A Heavens. And that basically kind of discourages the entirety of VLT to move towards A. The lockdown discourages VLT to move towards B as well. But now that the lockdown has dispersed, they can try and fabricate this way entry. Blackhawk gets some information, plays with fire, but gets away with it. Vim finds one frag, but instant trade comes through. Helef once again. This man is coming out clutch every single time the smoke comes through as well. But
30
Blackhawk will
seconds
he
left.
overextend? That's the question. Helef firing through the smoke, trying to get somebody. There is literally nobody apart from Blackhawk. The smoke is going to disperse really soon. Tiger comes out. The Trailblazer stuns him completely. Information passed. Plan goes down. 2v3 right now. TEAMXO in a very big clutch situation. And Sai needs to step up. The captain for the team, as well as Blackhawk, his right-hand man. Flashes come through. VLT is in proper position. They've got the fragment as well. Try and clear all those sides. The knife point will disable a lot of their abilities. Vibor just waiting for him to pop out. Blackhawk almost on the verge of taking down Hele, but Hele flicks him back. And Sai being decapitated as well by Vibor. This was nicely done, Team VLT. They win on the map pick of TEAMXO. Split was supposed to be their map, but it just does not work that way. VLT were the better team. They dominated throughout, to be honest, aggressive. And I just have nothing really to say because this kind of puts them in a very interesting situation. Next up, they play the map of Bind, which is going to be VLT's map pick.
Yeah,
They
that's
will
the
have an
problem.
opportunity to close their series 2-0. Did not really expect this to go the way it is doing right now.
We never really expected this, but at the same time, it's velocity we were talking about. So sometimes expecting what is not as expected could just be the case as well here. Let's head on down over towards the match highlights to try and break it down from bird's eye view, top down, see exactly what went wrong for both of these teams. Because I feel as though, yeah, you could say that Velocity, they won this one out, but at the same time, they made so many mistakes that they really shouldn't have been making. Initially, it was TEAMXO just coming out of the gates running. Good piss around. But then came the anti-eco.
Yep.
They just started falling apart because of plays like this. Look at how they're going into the sites. They're rushing in one by one. They're giving away the isolated 1v1s, and right at the very end, it's just a clutch situation. And in the clutch situation, you can't always rely on getting a clutch now, can you? Even if you're the best player in the world, sometimes you're just going to lose the clutch. Someone's going to be around a corner that you just forget to check, or you just don't check at all, and they have the better reaction time. Stuff like that can happen. And this is what has been happening throughout the entire game. These thrifty rounds, we saw how many? TEAMXO and Velocity combined. How? 6 thrifty
4 or
rounds just come
5?
on. Yeah, 6 thrifty rounds, I think. If my math is correct and if I don't miscount something.
All right.
It's
I
just
didn't count, so maybe you're right. Yeah.
how many of these are they gonna be able to find? I really don't understand. It's an Excali, he just had the worst day with the Seekers. Every single time he wanted to do something, a Seekers just came into his face and he's like, nope, not today.
Cabbage. But
The
yeah,
power
I
of the
mean,
cabbages. Eat your vegetables, kids.
for sure, for sure. there has been moments of brilliance as well. I mean, if you look at Team EXO, they showed signs of promise, especially Wimp in this game was absolutely insane. I've also got to give credit to Excalibur because the way he's played, especially in the right at the start of the game, was different, right? He had like what 15 kills in the first 10, 11 rounds, and then in the next half, he just did not really show up. He got around 7 kills.
Oh,
No,
dude, that
he did
shot again.
22. Yeah, that shot was insane, and right to ace, of course, deserved position as well. But you look at this, right? If Vibor and Helef, the two controllers for Team VLT, they are top fragging. Helef was fragging out of his minds in this game itself. Deathmaker has got 19 kills. Helef has got 24 for himself. This man is an absolute menace when it comes to those retakes, right? He facilitated and fabricated a lot of those retake situations, which really did win, right? On the back of those smokes, and Astra is literally one of the busiest agents in the game, apart from like maybe what, a Sova or something like that. And I feel like when somebody pulls so many responsibility as well as frags like what Helef did in this game, you've got to give credit, man. That is a superhuman effort coming in from this man, and he has um, sort of strung together this victory for Team VLT in this one, I believe.
Yeah, in a lot of different situations, if it wasn't for Helef, there was no way they could have been able to win this one out. Looking at the scoreboard on the screen as well here, just look at the performance, man. Velocity, Vibor with 23, Helef with 24, Deathmaker with 19, Right to Ace with 17, and Marcel with 13. Everyone's on double digits, and they were closing up on the 20 mark. Right to Ace could have easily gotten 20. Like, and with that, Team EXO, their performances were also not bad, now was it? They got a lot of value, but I think I need to highlight the main difference between these two composition. It has to be the KO versus the Sky. It feels as though the KO just didn't get a lot of value. It's not Sai's fault even, just the KO was not able to do much. What did he do? Throw out a knife, got a little bit of info, but were they able to get a lot of value out of that info and that silence? Not really, because there was no one to capitalize on that rush. You're playing a double Sentinel-based composition, a composition that relies on you getting picks right off the get-go, and picking up a KO in this lineup, it's a little bit iffy. Like, I understand you're trying to use the ultimate to try and push yourself in towards the side. You just use that, they can't pop any abilities, they can't slow you down, you rush into a side, you take the control, but did that really happen throughout any form during their own attacking side? Not really. It just felt a little bit one-dimensional, but still their attacking side went good. 7-5 was the scoreline, but Velocity, they were able to come on back on their own defensive side. So, like, sorry, Velocity were able to come on back on their own attacking side. So in that sense, it just didn't feel as proper as you would have hoped for, but I digress. They can still improve. They can come back even stronger when it comes down over onto map number 2. And speaking of map number 2, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be setting that one up. We're going to be heading on down over into short break, and we're going to be back with the real shortly with the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial. Our apparel partners are 656, accessory partners Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner is none other than Aimlab. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial. Our apparel partners are 6x6, accessory partners Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner is none other than Aimlab. We are now back once again on the hot seat. My boy Salty's here, looking as fly as ever. And as we do jump on straight over to the map veto screen once again, you can see 13 and 10 scoreline going in the favor of the side of Velocity for map number 1. Now, was that a very clean win for Velocity? Oh, hell no. A lot of mistakes were made, some misplays were being done. And EXO as well, not really going up to the mark as we would have expected when it was their home map.
Yeah.
We have seen performances from Team EXO just absolutely blowing us out of the water. But today on the map of Split, it just did not happen. Velocity, they had the better strat book and a lot more consistency. Even when it came down to their thrifty rounds and also their eco rounds that they did lose out, every single situation was pretty much a 1v1, ending with either EXO being able to clutch it out with the skin of their teeth, even though they had the better guns, or it was Velocity winning everything out here. Now, this is the Velocity that's heading on down over onto their home map, their new home map, mind you, being Bind. If they don't have Breeze, they always love to play the map of Bind.
Exactly. Now, the one very big difference that played out between Team VLT and EXO in the first map was the presence of the Viper on the side of Team VLT. I feel like Vapor just absolutely destroyed the other team, especially with Helef being there as well. A double controller setup from VLT was really, really stable. We'll have a look at the agent selection next up, because once again, I kind of think that they will move on to the double controller setup. They find it really stable and they work their way through it as well. Look at this. Once again, the Viper, Hella once again, the Astra. This has worked perfectly on the map of Split. Bind, even though it's not constructed the same way, I feel like it is gonna work out the same way. We've got similar setup on the map of on the side of TEAMXO as well, because we have a Sova and a Sky combination, again a double initiator composition for the side of TEAMXO versus a double controller setup. It's gonna be interesting because one plays out on the back of some information, one plays out on the back of some space. So what do you think, Aggressive? Like, what are your thoughts from an analyst perspective, like which one favors or which one triumphs the other? Because in the first map we got to see that the double sentinel was completely destroyed by the double controller set.
Now, the main thing that we really want to highlight is the fact of a double initiator composition. Why is the double initiator composition so powerful, and why is it so crucial for pretty much every single map? Why do the Europeans play it so much? Why do the NA people play it so much? It's mainly due to the fact of this composition being a lot more simpler to use in a lot of different terms, and it allows you to gain a lot of space really quickly just with the use of one utility instead of having a single initiator, which will basically mean that, okay, you use this over recon bolt, now you gotta wait 45 seconds for it to come back so you can use it again. You need to think about where you use your utility, but with the double initiator, that's not really the case, because you will have enough to rush on down over into a site, even if you don't get a lot of value out of that single piece of utility. Just like in this case. Look, the Sova came on down through, used this recon bolt, and now he needs to wait. He gets a tiny little bit of information that one player is playing in showers, but of course there will be a showers player. How many are there? You don't really know, but if you had a Sky on your side, maybe with the dog, you're going to be able to push yourself up, get a little bit more info. With the double controller, though, on the other side, this is a composition purely based upon playing defensive, but the twist on the map of Bind is that you have a lot more firepower in comparison to the people who are playing a double initiator composition because of the double duelist that you have on your side. The Viper will act as a pseudo sentinel, and I'm pretty sure that everyone will agree with me when I say that Viper is pretty much a Cypher, but in the controller fashion.
Yeah.
So here is where the ideologies are going to be coming in. Slow, methodical play versus complete and utter aggression if they choose to. It's a lot more fluid and a lot more dynamic to play a double initiator composition in comparison to a double controller.
True that, absolutely 100% agreed.
Slow and methodical play.
Like to Ace though. Finds with Wim, finds Wim before takes down Blackhawk. 2 players down already. Team VLT, they are definitely planting, having the advantage right from the get-go. On the backstab, will he be successful? Yes, he is, but tanks a lot of damage over there. Ghost finds Helef as well, so that's an Astral lift. While Ghost finds another one of the Marzel. Deathmaker, quite 1 HP. He'll find another frag for himself. Triple kill for this man. Should eventually be a clutch. Bor has to give it up. Like, there's no way he will be able to survive. No way, he actually does! It's half diffused! This man just needs to buy time for his teammate. Oh no, he shouldn't have gone for it. He shouldn't have gone for it. He just play time. But well, the spike was half diffused already. Yeah, and then that basically means TEAMXO, they once again start off really well, get the first round for themselves. I don't exactly remember who got the first round in the map split, but I definitely remember that VLT possibly came back with an eco round.
Yes,
it was 1-1 at the
first
start,
round,
so.
and then Velocity on a 1-1.
Yeah, and well, kind of looks like a similar storyline, but then we need to find out if VLT can actually make a comeback in this one. We have seen a force buy from VLT right now. They've bought into the Spectres, they've bought into their all SMG forms. Meanwhile, TEAMXO, they are ready to actually pounce on the martial shot. Missing, this can actually be death for Excali. He gets away because he's a jet, of course, but he still pinches that same angle, right? He's waiting for players to come into his crosshair, but eventually the jump peak will force him out of that angle.
Not going to be a good position for them, but for now, at least, they can rest easy. They can take a deep breath and be like, let's take it slow. Let's wait for the side of EXO to maybe reveal themselves, use a lot of their utility. A lot of Astra stars have been invested already from Team EXO to try and stop this push. And now that they're walking straight in, this is going to hurt them. Velocity, they have a forward position. They know exactly where they need to go. But Sai, he could be such a dangerous player here. He's able to get this first initial kill. It's going to cost him. Sai, he's in such a bad spot. But still, Sai's going to go for 1 before he does get traded on out. That's going to be good, but
What?
What was that shot?
What?
Good headshot on towards the face of one. And with that, the A side's completely
Oh,
open.
no.
They have full control.
Oh.
Easy spike plan, but still, they're not gonna go in for it. They're just gonna go in for a wraparound. Whoopty freaking do. I'm down towards the B side already.
Enemy
Free
remaining.
plant for them, but right to Ace. He doesn't even need a free plant. He only needs a free kill. One more. Not gonna be able to find it, but still deals enough damage.
10
30
seconds
HP and a
left.
dream. Sai. This is gonna be really difficult for him, especially when Helef, he still has 2 of his stars to work with.
Vim will get caught out. It's a gamble which once again paid off. And BLT used a lot of their credits, and they completely butchered down TEAMXO. Once again, the Viper just coming out clutch, the toxic screen as well as the poison cloud facilitating that entry into the site, and when they do so, their trade game is just so good. This is really unstoppable, is it? Helef, he was there inside, but the toxic screen kind of made him completely useless with everybody coming in from A shot. Even though there were players in showers, Helef was completely rendered useless on the back of that gravity well, and his buy of the Vandal proved to be really, really expensive. I guess I kind of mixed up Ghost with Helef, but never really mind. TEAMXO is on an eco right now, and Team VLT are the ones who come in with big guns of their own. They've got Vandals to work with. They still have some Spectres. They still have 3 Spectres to work with, but it doesn't really matter because on the other camp, it's basically pistols. Now, TEAMXO, they need to play it on the back of their trades on the map of Split. We saw how all 5 players kind of focused themselves trying to play their trade game near mid. Sai has already taken a lot of damage. Wemp is going to go down as well. Excali finds kills. A lot of these bodies are going to fall as we expected. Blackhawk on the backstab can actually deal some damage. Ghost coming in from CT can possibly do it, but it's gonna be tough for him. Definitely, it's gonna be tough for him.
Gonna be a good one, but Velocity? They come on back again. How? Why? What? No one really knows. But it's always gonna be a storyline to remember at all stages now, is it not? And once again, you gotta remember something here, Salty. This is the composition that Velocity have that reigns supreme on the side of defense, because the Viper, that's her domain. But for now, they just need to get as many rounds as they possibly can. That's all that they're gonna be hoping for. Ghost. He's gonna be good for 1, but he's just not gonna be able to go for the 2nd. But it's fine. What are you really worried about? 4 people are still alive, just getting 1 member cut down. He just needs to buy himself a better gun, but still, at this stage, it's pretty much the same weapons all over. Velocity, they're gonna be really happy. 1 and 2, but for EXO, this is gonna be their first buy round. And in this buy round, if they are not able to get a proper hold, things just may fall apart instantly.
Yeah, Team VLT at this point, they are riding the tide. They have the money to work with as well. But TEAMXO, they are ready with sort of better guns themselves. So this is going to be an opportunity to redeem themselves. They've got 3 players focused on stopping this B aggression. There is literally nobody in hookah, so they've completely given it away. But the spike is traveling nowhere. Team VLT on the other side, they're trying to focus themselves on the A side. Now, it's 3 stack B and a 2 stack A is a very simple strategy. But then when it actually when an actual 5v2 takes place on the A side, it is really possible to break it open. And that is what Team VLT will be looking for. They've got the information as well. They've got the owl drone. They've got the utility that can give them the information of where the players are positioned. The gravity well is being activated. Kind of buys a lot of time for this owl drone. But the boom bot is going to give them a lot of information. Look at Ghost completely overwhelmed. This man is just dancing across the pitch.
Well, that's an Excali for you right there.
Lane in the coffin. Exactly right. I mean, we talked about it. Marzel, he has a soul of a duelist, just encapsulated in Sentinel form. And when he actually picks up a duelist, he lives his life freely. Excalibur right now, as well as Wimp, will have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. They can save their guns, but at this point, going for a retake it's not possible. You saw that, right? How easy it was to break that defense open, especially with flashes coming through, the players satchel jumping their way into the side. It literally was perfect in a trademark way of making their way into it. a two-man ace stack makes sense, but when 5 people push onto you, you literally can't stop it, especially with players like Mars who are double satchelating their way in, distracting you. Then there's other players who are actually playing trade up. It's perfect.
I personally think if Ghost had a Phantom in that situation, he would have gotten away with that kill. The spray control is just impossible with that Vandal, especially when you're trying to track a target. The spray just does not want to go to the place that you really want it to go. It's a painful situation and a half, and poor old Ghost just got made a fool of himself. But I digress. It happens from time to time. It could happen, ladies and gentlemen, to any of us. Control is hard with a Vandal, but
It
for
happens
now...
almost every day to me, but
you are let's just say that's your daily life. We don't talk about that. This is why you're not playing on the
day in
server
the life
right
of
now.
Salty.
I'm not even gonna say the rank. I'm gonna let people guess the rank.
All right. Let's just focus on the game at hand right now.
Hey, there's a reason why you're not playing on the server.
True that. I mean,
Concealment, obscuring
if you think about it, TEAMXO, they're playing with ecos. They don't really have
my
the
god!
flying
They had a shock target!
right way.
He just got wrecked!
Yeah, that was. We saw that, right? We kind of missed that as well, talking about our own ranks. But a lot of frags go in the side, in the B side. A lot of bodies fall. TEAMXO, they're still struggling to make a comeback right now. Shock darts coming through, players falling up on the back of it. Team VLT, they facilitated. They moved towards the B side almost perfectly. But Ghost as well as Wim will be tasked to kind of bring some life back to this team, try and keep the economy humble. Wim with the Vandal will be isolated and neutralized. Right to Ace knows exactly where Ghost is. Through the big brick wall, he's gonna find him and he's gonna take him down. Team VLT look to be on a roll right now because their pushes are literally impenetrable at this point. I mean, or rather unstoppable. That was a wrong use of word, but yeah. They are unstoppable at this point because you see this, the utility usage is almost perfect. They've got the shock dart, they've got the recon dart to use, and they've used their Viper to utter perfection. And when you've got two duelists, you mentioned it right, they are literally brute forcing their way into the side with nobody who has the capability to stop this team engine.
The way that Marzel is spearheading most of these fights is what's really incredible to me. Normally a Raze will have a pretty difficult time trying to get into a site and then go in for kills, but for Marzel, he just flies freely through the sky. There's like absolutely no anti-air to try and take him down. And in this situation, there's another problem. Just look at where they are and look at how the utility is being thrown in. Once again, Marzel, free entry into the site. He has nothing to worry about. Full site has been cleared. And what does he need to think of? Absolutely nothing. Vivor gets a free plan for himself as well. They have the positions. They know what they really need to do.
spike planted.
Exactly. I mean, when Riot probably designed the blast pack, they thought of Marzel and they did so. Deathmaker finds Wim over there. Sova, no more recon darts as well. It's going to be a problem. The only source of vision for TEAMXO can be the Trailblazer, but this is going to be a really interesting ultimate because the lockdown kind of invites in that Hunter's Fury. Sai wanted to disable that Hunter's Fury by taking down the Sova, but Deathmaker found him in between. Now TEAMXO, they're basically stuck out of sight.
Oh no, Ghost!
Could have got a kill for himself, but Marzel, look at them wonderfully isolating these kills and finding every single one of them. This is cheeky, but that was so good to watch. Poor TEAMXO. They're being bulldozed their way in this map.
This feels like a pause situation, doesn't it?
Beaten lesson, right? Yeah.
I think they need to reset themselves. EXO, they're shaking, they're making mistakes. They need to take a pause soon. Yeah, maybe for the eco round they don't need to, but they could use this eco round as well to just reset themselves mentally. Sometimes it's just when you're missing shots like this, just taking a pause, taking a deep breath and trying to recollect yourselves is just a better idea. Rethink the strategies that you're trying to employ. See what angles you want to take fights on. And now, on this round in particular, there is a chance you're going to be able to win, but it all rides on top of Excali being able to get takes with this operator. If he misses a single shot, it's over for you, but it's Excali that we're talking about. Is he going to miss? He's not even gonna get a chance to shoot. What was this double peek? They knew Excali was gonna get overly aggressive. Excali, you just got read like an open book.
Slate. Last player standing.
Blackhawk finds one, Vibor trades him out, completely easy. There's only one guy that survives. Team VAT once again en route to making it 6-1. Goes the solo defender against 5 attackers. You know what's gonna happen, right? I mean, I don't understand what exactly Team EXO is doing wrong, but Team VLT, they're butchering them down. They're winning every single duel. They've got the economy on their side as well. One thing for certain, they've kept up the pressure against Team EXO. They're not letting their foot go easy on the gas. That is for certain. Team EXO is just not finding themselves in defense, and one of the reasons why is because Team VLT, they're really certain about their attack. They're really certain about which side which they want to hit. How do they want to orchestrate that attack, and how do they want to line up the agents one after the other? How do they want to line up the utility one after the other? There is a very clear point of information. There's a very clear line of hierarchy as well. All of these players make their way in, right? But it's really well orchestrated. It's good synergy between these players. Excali though is going to take out one key aspect, and that's going to be right to ace. The backstab has been taken down. Helep will be forced back as well on the back of that flash. The Astral Divide is there, but Team EXO, they're taking good strides. The spike hasn't been planted yet, but look at this. Team EXO, they've completely taken down 2 players, isolated a few of their own as well. Marzel with a charge gets a few kills of his own. Frenzy in his hand. This is going to be problematic because in this position, if he tries to peek out with a charge and meet those long angles, of course he's going to lose those duels. There's no way anybody can save him.
Taking that back. Obscuring vision.
Now, positionally, it's gonna be the side of EXO where in a little bit of a tough situation, but at the same time, they should be able to go in for this retake. One on the left, one on the right, swing out. It's gonna be Helep going around the world in 80 days. He's gonna be the one to get the first initial kill, but still, positionally, they need to go in. The spike! They can't even touch it. Where do they go? Where do they run? And where do they fight? And they still are the ones to fight it. And Marzel's Simhouse still gets the kill on towards the face of Ghost. But still, hey, they go around. Let's just say we took this round out of a platinum rank game and then just showed it to everyone. It works sometimes, okay?
What was this round? Look at this, right? Helep is gonna jump right. No, not Helep. It's gonna be Marzel who jumps right on top of Blackhawk, and he's jumping right on him, on his head.
This round was just. Let's not talk about it. There's no analysis here because there was no strategy involved for this.
Exactly, you just put in that Astral Divide halfway down the side and you defuse. You go defuse and go YOLO. That was basically it. But I mean, at least it's good because EXO got one round for themselves, but VAT still have the economy to buy for further rounds, right? They're still in the game. One player pinged, but that's basically it. They've got that information towards the B main region. They're not letting in players coming in from hookah as well. A wonderful crossfire setup, but Marzel has a showstopper, so you can't really underestimate this man. He's kind of used up his boombot, so that's not going to be available, but Deathmaker is finally making his way in, so that is something which they need to be careful about. They've still got that presence towards that A side with the war, as well as right to ace in that position. They've got that dock screen up and running as well, so that can be problematic. Nice one. Marzel though. The pain shell is going to find Blackhawk before Blackhawk actually took him down. Deathmaker sneaks his way into elbow with nobody
he walks
watching.
Into elbow casually. No one knows he's here.
What?
Deathmaker?
Okay, man.
Are you a defender or are you an attacker?
30 seconds.
Are the
left.
imposter that we all been waiting for?
Oops.
Oh god! If Whip just turned around and just slapped him in the face with a bullet.
Grounded.
Excali does find Deathmaker over there, so players coming in from hookah will be important. Ghost finds Helep, that is one important player down as well. Vibor all by himself needs to sort of make his defense work, but nah, the postplan isn't happening. Ghost finds the third frag for himself, and Team EXO, they get their third round as well. It's really important that we understand that TEAMXO, they are in the game right now. They are certainly in the game, and they are they're taking huge strides in making a comeback. Especially after the kind of pressure that VLT put them under, getting that round victory was really important. We talked about, right, it was chaotic, it was ugly, it was dirty, but thankfully Team EXO did everything that they could in their power to get that round for themselves. And when they did that, they've broken momentum from the VLT camp, and now they've taken the momentum and put it in their pockets. They're using it and riding the tide to get as many rounds as they possibly can. They've got 2 already, right, and they possibly can get more, especially because VLT, their bank account won't really last long.
Time to hunt.
Now, positionally, as you can already see, they're going to be heading on down back because Team EXO, they have the momentum in their favor. And in this type of situation, you know for a fact that Velocity, they're going to start overthinking. But will this overthinking really help them to try and push it all forward? Or are they still going to be going with the flow? And Deathmaker, he's not just going to be going with the flow. He's going to be going in for a tailwind soon enough as well. Marzel, he knows what's up. He's hunting down the players. On one side, it's going to be Deathmaker. And on the other, it's going to be another. Marzel gets taken out. But still, Deathmaker straight through the smoke. Gets a beautiful headshot down on towards the face of Psy. Shutting down one more player, and Deathmaker, he's on for his ace. Maybe he's gonna be able to find X-Wing out. One more kill. Deathmaker, he's looking for this ace, and he's gonna be able to get it in beautiful fashion. Crisp, clean headshots in the ace with a Champions Vandal as well. 3 and 7, he's gonna be sending the side of Velocity over towards the grand finals in style.
Probably. Big calls there from Aggressive right there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure with performance like that, Deathmaker will be able to send his team to the grand finals. But right now, Team VLT, they are in the lead. Team EXO, for them, this was a really big bummer because they got 2 rounds and they had the momentum on their side, but suddenly it has been broken all apart, and Team VLT, they're gonna pick the pieces and play with them right now because they know that they've done enough damage to Team EXO. The boombot gives them some advantage. Really aggressive position. Excali with the Sheriff finds Deathmaker over there. Deathmaker did get 1 kill, so that's a 1-for-1 trade. Marzel finds his way inside the poison cloud of his teammate, but Coast is in position with the Sheriff. Nice shot. Second shot as well with a third found coming. That's really Helef. Takes him down. Got the site completely open, but there is a backstab in the works. Right to ace will eliminate that. I love this, right? Every single time they've got this clear-cut combination, they've got this clear-cut communication. Right to ace will always check backstab, and he does it so beautifully, right? There is a very distinct sense of responsibility on these players, and there is no commotion. Helef, though, progresses forward without planting. Now, this can cost them. It is still a 2v2, right? You don't really want to pull on funny business. The alarm bot will be destroyed, but Excali is going to peek out, and that is exactly what I was worrying about. Trying to be overly cheeky, trying to do something too much, and which essentially can cost you the round. The recon dart really risky. It has been broken. The outrun is there to kind of facilitate and help you.
30 seconds left. No charges left.
Now, it's all up to you, right to ace. Are you gonna be the clutch minister? Are you gonna be able to find something for yourself? I don't think so, not today, especially with both of them just staring down at you and staring those daggers into your soul. And it's gonna be Psy's bot
3 players
for the kill.
Last round in the
6th man for the side of EXO, making it all happen. But will Team EXO be able to get that 5 and 7 scoreline here, Salty? That's the real question.
5 ultimates. 5 ultimates, Aggressive. They've got 5 ultimates to work with. You've got a Hunter's Fury, you've got a Lockdown, you've got Seekers, you've got Daggers, you've got a Natural Dot. What more do you want? Oh man, it should be an automatic 5th for them considering the ultimate situation. On the other camp, we do have a Viper's Pit, but then what can you potentially do, right? Especially with a Seeker and Hunter's Fury and Lockdown in place, I'm pretty sure they will be able to counter the Viper's Pit rather comfortably. I'm just waiting to understand how this round is going to pan out, especially with the man advantage situation, because both the teams need the man advantage. If you think about VLT from their perspective, they really want to keep the lead and the round advantage. Deathmaker will be decapitated. Blackhawk, nice one, cleans him up, but Vibor finds a trade. That's good stuff. The trade game from VLT once again coming out on point. The Seeker, though, is gonna find Marzel. In fact, Excali is gonna be the one who finds Marzel after the Seeker spotted him. Excali peeks out. The right click doesn't really work out. It's gonna be problematic because Vibor makes his way in. Vibor has been completely taking down Excali. huge leaps of faith, and here it
One
comes, the
enemy
astral
remaining.
divide.
Now, once again, Velocity, they're at death's door. It's not really working out for them, and the fact that TEAMXO have finally understood the strategies of Velocity really does give them that chance to get into that proper position and to just shut it all down piece by
30
piece.
seconds
But
left.
another problem is that Helef, he needs to run in towards the side pretty much at this point. He cannot go in for rotation. There's not really going to be enough time for him to clear out the entire side and also clear out U-Hauls. But forget clearing anything. You just gotta survive Sai and his Vandal at the very beginning. Not gonna be able to do anything there. 5 and 7 on the scorecards, and now the scripts have been flipped. With TEAMXO being on the 5 rounds and Velocity them being on the 7. Is this gonna be a reverse comeback heading on down over to the 13 and 10 scoreline favoring the side of TEAMXO? Will it be balanced as everything should be, as said by Thanos? And are we gonna be sending ourselves down over to the 3rd map? That's the real question here. But currently, Velocity, now that they're on the side of defense, Salty, they're a lot more deadly than they ever were. That Viper, I'm scared to see what Vibor is gonna do now.
True. True. This is when VLT actually thrive, right? This is their defense, and this is the defensive half, and they can actually make it work. EXO, I really want to see what can they potentially do in their attacking side. What is their approach looking like? They've got the Trailblazer. Marzel will be stunned, but he has a shorty in his hand. He has a shorty in his hand. He also has a classic as well. So I think he's going to be safe in that position, but then with Vibor, he should be even safer. Now, Team VLT holding Hookah down, but Team EXO trying to brute force their way in kind of says is basically the name of the game so far, right? VLT being disciplined, meanwhile Team EXO trying to be as offensive as possible. Flash comes through and the peak will come out as well. Nanoswarm grenade completely taking Marzel's life, sucking it out of his soul. The Bordeaux is going to wide swing, but Sai is going to find both of them. Helef is quite low on HP as well. Team EXO, they're making a comeback. Blackhawk takes it down. A lot of frags come through as well, but Team EXO, they make their way towards side and they've completely taken over.
And decide for themselves, and this retake is just not going to be working out in their favor whatsoever. Right to ace on the front, Deathmaker's on the flank. Deathmaker, he needs to get both of these kills. If he's not able to find it, it's just going to be all over for him. Goes, spots him out. Smell the Deathmaker coming in from a mile away. Deathmaker good for 1. He's not going to be good for a second, though. The jiggles are just a little bit too powerful. Deathmaker, I understand. It's just fine. These are the type of situations with the Sheriff you're just not going to be able to win. Doesn't matter how much of a plan that you have. You tried his hardest, but just not gonna work. 6 and 7 on the scorecards, and now an eco run going in the side of Velocity. Maybe a possible Thrifty? You never really know, because it's Velocity we're talking about. They pulled off 4 Thrifties in the last map. Are they gonna be able to pull off another one? Let's just find out.
Are they even gonna go for an eco run? That's the question, because in the first half they went for a force buy, they went for a gamble, and it actually paid off. Now, if you eventually go for a thrift in there, if you eventually go for an eco round in this one, it is gonna trade off your lead, right? It is gonna give an automatic 7th for Team EXO, and that is what you potentially don't want. Giving in that advantage to your opposition is something which you always should be worried about. Now, if that is something the case, I mean, they are eventually going in for ecos, but Helef actually finds one.
Helef, you're an absolute madman.
Frag over there.
He's a madman. He just swung out full scale running as soon as he heard the owl drone, and he's like, "Oh, free kill!"
Yeah.
Sai's like, "What is he doing here? Why are you here?"
Funnily enough, he gets a KJ instead of the Sova, but it's still fine. But I mean, it's really important to know that Team EXO, it should be an easy round for them, but the fact that it is 7-7 of a scoreline, nobody expected this on the map of Pine, because VLT should have taken this way early. The later half of the first half was sort of like dicey. It went either way. It could have gone either way. It was really close for Team EXO, but they actually mounted a comeback to make it easy for them. Their life in this round, in this half itself, is going to be much easier right now.
Oh, beautiful!
Trying to make a comeback, but Marzel once again jumping around the pitch. Excali and Blackhawk get 2 kills of their own. Sheriffs, what Deathmaker? What can he possibly do? He invested into that Sheriff, so that's interesting.
The thing is that I personally love a Marshal over a Sheriff any day currently because the Marshal just adds so much value for those 950 credits that you put into it. You don't even need to buy armor in most cases and you can still get away with a kill. It's just so strong, it's just so good, but now right to ace! It's just way better. Who needs a Sheriff? Who needs a Marshal? You just need a right to ace! He's gonna have the clutch rounds, he's gonna have the clutch cheated himself, but still, the clutch needs to be even stronger. Come on, right to ace! No! With the last bullet, Ghost is gonna be the one to shut him down! He missed every single shot! Right to ace! That should not have happened.
I don't know what happened, right? Both the players kind of whiffed a little bit. I thought that Ghost was actually tracing out the boundary of right to ace. Even his shots weren't connecting, and then right to ace. None of his shots connected either, so that was there. The exchange of whiffs. Symphony of whiffs.
Not really a whiff, it's just the Spectre being a Spectre. Like, you know how the Spectre just insta-pops you in the head when you're running full scale, when you're just swinging out from B main and the guy is sitting on top of heaven? And then there's this. You stand right in the face of someone, you're standing still and none of the bullets are gonna hit them. Welcome to Valorant, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, true, absolutely true. TEAMXO though, after finding the 7, this is going to be a really important round. Some of them have had to reinvest into weapons, much like Excali doesn't really have a lot of cash to work with, and I'm pretty sure he's happy with it. The kind of advantage that this weaponry is going to give them is monumental. They can retain the lead, and that is the most important thing. They don't really have the spike yet, but VLT have a different approach. They've put 3 players in the A side. They've got the B side kind of left open. They've left hookah control as well, so kind of waiting for all these players to pop in into the side and wait for all the duels to fight in. Now, this is probably not the best idea because they don't have the best of buys, or probably they do. Vibor with the Phantom takes down Excali. That's going to cost them. That is a kick right in their belly right now. Ghost tries to make his entry, but then the shock dart kind of flirts with him a little bit, snatches away a little of his life force. 4v5 right now. What are they going to do? The spike is traveling towards a B side, but the clock is taking 20 odd seconds before the round stops, and they don't have any sort of real estate. Vibor is in position. Pops out the poison cloud, pops out the toxic screen. First frag comes in. It's a nice trade. It's a healthy trade, but Vibor actually makes his way towards hookah, and that is his death curse right there. Wimp and Ghost come in with kills, but here it is Marzel. Marzel is gonna fall. Ghost finds 2 frags of his own. Ghost finds a 3rd, and that's basically VLT down into the grave. It should have been different. The storyline could have been completely different. The read was just not there. Like, they're 30 seconds on the clock. You spot 1 player onto the B side. You know that they're going to hit the B side, right? But the reinforcements came in way too late. Vibor got that 1 frag, but then the rest of the players, they really shouldn't have been allowed to push through, right? I understand they were coming in from B main, and Vibor tried to hide towards hookah and probably get a few kills from there. But then you just need to not really risk that, right? When you don't have information from where this pinch is coming from. And knowing TEAMXO, they're always going to flavor different things, right? They're going to add that layer of hookah presence along with B main and whatnot. But we move on to 8 and 7 aggressive, and this time, I don't really think Team VLT have what it takes to win the 8th round.
Never say never. This is Velocity for a reason, and Marcel, I think he's trying to prove you wrong here, Salty. What did you bet against him?
The all-round spot Excali.
Maybe.
Try and go for a spam, but it doesn't connect.
Oh, Marcel.
It is in the back lines, but Sai has an idea.
Spike there.
Yeah.
Headshot.
He knew for the footsteps came in.
I love this, right? TEAMXO, they're playing so passive and defensive throughout this entirety of the round itself. They're trying to run down the clock as much as possible, which basically takes down any sort of backstab that comes in from VLT, right? They're spending so much time in the back lines that they hear all the footsteps. One player tries to overextend, Blackout completely shuts him down almost immediately. Right to ace does the same thing. There's trades happening left and right. Hella finds 1 frag, but Excali manages to find him as well. The lockdown is going to do the magic. It's basically 1 lone guy who survives Deathmaker. None of his shot connect as Excali gets a 9th for himself. This is an alarming sign. This is mayday for VLT, because this definitely did not look like it is going to be this situation It was 7-3 at some point, and then TEAMXO pulled back 6 rounds back to back. Look at the timeline aggressive. I really can't believe my eyes.
This is what it looks like when pretty much you start being a little bit too overconfident in your own capabilities. A double swing would have been better if you wanted to take out the Killjoy lockdown, but Vibor went in for the swing by himself, knowing that there was a possibility for 2 players to come on down through over towards B Gardens. They went into Octagon one by one, and Vibor, I understand you wanted to make a hero play, but you need to expect 2 players are going to be there. They're breaking apart. They're just a little bit too overconfident for their own good. Need to slow it down. Need to take a couple of deep breaths and then go in for the fight of their own. Because now Excali, it's his turn. Spotted out the head of Hellfire, but Hellfire also spotted out him. Run it away. Get into better positions. They're looking to hit this A side. They're trying to size it up as much as they possibly can. But Velocity, they're doing a good job. They're not giving any form of information away of where they actually are holding or how much utility have they invested here. But with this Owl Drone getting a little bit of info, that's all that they need to push their way forward. And of course, Deathmaker, he's going to push himself up and get a kill on towards the face of Blackhawk.
You are divided.
4v5 right now. Astral Divide comes through as well. Completely takes away the back of side out of the
30
equation. The
seconds
shock darts come through as well to try and cause problems for VAT as much as possible. Pretty sure the spike will go down. None of the players will try and overextend, because if they do so, they will be punished just like Vibor was.
Spike
Initial
planted.
comes in, tries to deny the plan, but that's not gonna happen. Astral Divide is gonna go off pretty soon. Boombot comes in as well, spots down Excali, who is on the top of those boxes, but he still finds Mazen, gets away with it as well. This man, or rather this entire team, is actually making war. TEAMXO, wonderfully crafted right there. Helef,
One enemy
Divide of his
remaining.
own as well. Nice work on the side, nice map,
enemy
takes him
remaining.
out. It's gonna be Wimp. He speaks out, takes down Deathmaker as well. It's a 1v1, and he's got a Hunter's Fury to work with as well. Half defuse should come in by the time, but wait. Huh?
Got your targeted. Start.
He didn't hear the defuse sound because of the Astral Divide. But, Wimp, you should have expected it, my man.
Oh my god. Right?
You should have
I mean,
expected
yeah,
it.
right?
Play some Astral Stars in this reality.
Exactly, that was my point, right? You don't really peek out because of the Cosmic Divide. That's understandable, but you should get some sort of information at least. Of course, Helef is not going to wait for the defuse, right? But it was weird, it was confusing, but I feel that's fine. Wimp takes away a gun with himself, and Team VLT come back.
Okay, that's one of the most ambitious Viper splits that I've ever seen in my entire career as a caster. What is this?
Oh my god. TEAMXO, though, they find their way in from B main. They don't really use hook all that much. The Viper split basically has been rendered useless. Here it comes, Hunter's Fury. Here it is, Excali trying to jump all the way. Helef shots him down with 1 tap. Sai as well as Ghost come up with 2 trades of their own. Mazen misses 2 shots and finally gets Swim. And I'm pretty sure his teammates are gonna be livid on him, but yeah, that's some big mess up. And this man Mazen, he's got a showstopper of his own. Finds one, isolates the second one as well. Will he get the second one? Not really. Sai finds the frag on his
enemy
board in
remaining.
position once again.
Spike
Nice
down.
one, another
Anything.
spike
Hacker
drop.
spawn.
Just chill.
And it's closed.
It's over.
Yeah.
909. Make it happen. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you
Oh
2
my
things.
God.
I'm just gonna tell you 2 things.
Two-
First of all,
Yeah. Go ahead.
popped his Hunter's Fury, did the third strike, and he ran into the teleporter by accident. He ran out and just gave Marzel the freest kill of his entire career. Let that settle
Oh
in.
my
He used his Hunter's Fury, and the pushback pushed him inside of the teleport.
Yeah, sometimes Newton's theory is not very pleasant, to be honest. Every action has its equal and opposite reaction. Ladies and gentlemen, I was a physics topper in my school. So yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and now you're stuck here with casting duty.
Look at what has happened to TEAMXO, right? I mean, 2 back-to-back rounds where Wimp sort of messed up a little bit. One round couldn't really hear because of the Cosmic Divide. Second round, his Hunters really pushed him back. This time, Mazel. The Showstopper not really doing a lot of the work, but at least it denies some sort of real estate to TEAMXO. Now look at this. This is an eco round, right? 2 errors and suddenly TEAMXO, they kind of give away the lead that they had. The lead that they worked so hard for is almost gone. Oh my god, Excali butchers down Deathmaker right between his eyebrows. How did you do that? He barely peeked out. He probably had an idea, but still.
Hawk out.
It's just surprising to me
30 seconds
the
left.
way that they are
What
able
is
to
surprising?
find these fights. Like, Excali just casually walks in with the Bladestorm and just taps him in the forehead. I saw nothing. I didn't even see a pixel, but Excali found the perfect headshot lineup for himself with the knives, mind you. So this is going to be interesting, but Helif, now he has a Guardian in his hand. The Guardian one taps are going to reach Supreme, possibly, but still Sai. He's just going to be better in this situation for his own accord. Here comes the Satchels, trying to get a little bit of a pushback for himself, but it's just not going to work now, is it? Swings out, and Sai's going to be the one to get a finishing blow. 10 and 9 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. And both of these teams, they're at each other's necks. They're at each other's throats, and they're trying to close everything out as fast as they possibly can. But TEAMXO, they're the ones in the lead once again. And for Velocity, this is their time to try and play catch-up. But are they going to be able to? Because they don't have the money for it. The storyline seems to be the exact same as the map of Split. On Split, what did we see? An 11 and 9 scoreline, sending it down over to a 12 and 10. And at the very end, it was Velocity being the one to close everything out here. EXO, I think they're following in the same footsteps.
Possibly.
Velocity.
Possibly, but we need to wait and watch. Deathmaker really aggressive on that Sheriff. Tries to get as much space and real estate as he possibly can. He will be pushed back by Ghost though, because he has a rifle to work with. Can't really risk his life on the back of those. On a Sheriff over there. Excali casually tapping away Deathmaker, once again establishing dominance that there has been for so long. Deathmaker didn't really seem to find himself in this match, did he? He's got 20 frags for himself, but time and time again, Excali has been shutting him down. And when that happens, the rest of the team kind of falters. Once again, look at this. Before falling, there's Mazel falling as well. Sure, it's an eco round. It is supposed to be their way, and just like you mentioned, 11th round almost inevitable.
Yeah, it is inevitable. It's 11 and 9 with the tune of the Champions panel coming on down through. It's gonna be the last tune that the side of Velocity could possibly hear. If at this point on this 11 and 9,
Here.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, this pause being taken by Velocity is pretty much warranted.
Here.
They need to try and figure out exactly where the loopholes are in their defensive hold. Personally, in my eyes, I would say that there's not enough crossfires.
Careful.
You can see that.
Here.
Look at the positions being given and look at the fights being taken as well here. You can see on the B main sideline that one person is going in for a push. Deathmaker does get that kill, but after that, he falls back. All of the members of TEAMXO, they're down towards the A side. And in the A side, no one is holding defensively. Everyone is pushing up aggressive to take map control. But why are you taking map control over on the side take where the side is most likely to get hit? One person is fine, but both of you walking in and there's no one to anchor the site? It feels like Velocity, they're making those rookie mistakes here and there, and that's what's really costing them on so many of these rounds. They need to slow themselves down, designate people who need to go in for pushes, because otherwise, this could go out of hand in a matter of seconds. And you gotta remember, this is still the last buy round that they can get. If they lose here, they don't have proper buys to try and fight against the overtime. Why?
Once again, here we go
Why?
again, ladies and gentlemen. Deathmaker trying to jump peek with an operator. Now, I'm not really gonna blame him because he's got the skills to back it up, but this time
But
against
not in this
Excali,
situation, man.
he's not gonna. Exactly, right? He's got the skills
Look
to back it up, but
desperation.
against Excali and against Exo with having a lead right up front, shouldn't just give away bodies like that. Right to Ace will be pushed back on the back of that flash. Team VLT, they are being pushed back continuously, and Team Exo is just writing the playbook at this point. They're the ones who are dictating the pace of the game. They're the ones who are dictating where VLT is going to move, when VLT is going to move. Slowly approaching the B main territory. Meanwhile, both the
I've got
defenders,
your
they're really
trail.
occupied with hookah control right now, and this is where the secrets come in. This is when those two defenders will be really occupied. Helaf has been taken down. That basically means there's only one guy right to Ace trying to hide behind the smoke, trying to hide inside, but then here's the lockdown as well. He needs to move out. Hopefully he
He's gonna
does.
run
The
away.
smokes
30
let
seconds
all
left.
the players from Team EXO walk into the site. Watch this, right? This should be really
Spike
difficult. Team
planted.
VAT almost on the verge of giving away match points to Team EXO.
This is gonna be hard for him. Ghost. He has the positions, but these flashes are gonna try and stop him as much as it possibly can. And with that,
And
Velocity,
yes,
they
pick it
know
up.
they need to go in for a save. They just can't. If they do, this is just gonna be bad for them. Going for a full-on save, and Team EXO, they're gonna go out on a hunt. They need to hunt down every single one of these guns. Doesn't matter what happens to you personally. Go in and take the fights. Go in for the kills, because if they're able to get it, this is a guaranteed win for them, pretty much. There's no way they're gonna be able to survive this. But if the three guns are able to live through, then the real problems are gonna start. Right to Ace. Bit of a premature shot from your side. That's gonna cost you, but still, that's not gonna cost you your life for now. And Wimp, he nearly spotted out the head. He nearly got that kill, but still, that's just not going to be enough. All three guns have been safe for Velocity. They still have a fighting chance to bring it all back and still have a proper buy to make it all work. But on this 12-9 scoreline, no more mistakes. Not a single one. And Velocity, if they do make it, they lose out on their home map. And we're going to be heading on down over onto map number 3.
It's crazy how many rounds really lost in their defense. When a team chooses a home map for themselves, the first thing which they try and do is to try and strengthen defense, right? That is after when you start working on your offense. I just don't really know. Team EXO didn't really do anything completely out of the ordinary. They've just got the sky, the flashes are great, they've got the information to work with as well. And Team VLT just struggled hard. They struggled hard to put up a fight against these teams. Flashes come through once again. Excali has made his way in towards Hookah, but he wouldn't be pushed back. In fact, just wait and watch, right? All of these VLT players, they're going to be the ones who will try and push up.
What was
Excali.
that headshot?
I mean, the headshot is understandable, but look at these guys. Look at Team VLT, right? Once again, pushing up to Excali without any reason. He has made no contact. He's yet to make his way into the side. But before that, Vibor has to push up. He's one of the controllers, but he gets taken down. This is sort of criminal at this point because Team EXO, they're always going to sit back, try and buy time, and just to watch
30
VLT
seconds
players
left.
peek out, take those aggressive peeks, gonna lose patience and lose those duels as well. This is what has been the name of the game so far, right? To is the only player who is sort of not giving away kills, but this time Wimp is gonna snatch it away from him, taking his life away from him. Marcel comes in from the backstab, takes down Sai. We are still breathing life in this game, but Wimp takes down Deathmaker. That should be the end game right now. Marcel in a 1v2 clutch. We are almost en route to the third map. Satchel and a fake signals.
One enemy
Knows
remaining.
where he is.
Double take.
First kill, but Ghost
Attackers
finds a
win.
trade. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Team EXO, they sweep up Team VLT on the map of Byte. I really had to take a pause before saying that because I did not believe that would be possible. But yeah, it actually has happened. And right now, Team VLT, I just don't know what happened to them in the second half of this map itself. But whatever happened, they gotta fix themselves up because the final decided map is on our way.
Isn't that what we kind of expected to happen here as well, considering how both of these teams have been playing throughout the entirety of the gauntlet? They are the best teams that we have. They are the number one, pretty much trying to fight for that first position when it goes down over towards to see who goes down over towards the grand finals. But for now, let's head on down over to the highlights and see exactly what went wrong for Velocity, because it feels like Velocity, they're making so many more mistakes than you'd expect. This is not the Velocity that we know and love back at home, ladies and gentlemen. It feels like Velocity, they're taking so many fights that just start hurting them over and over again. Where are the slow, methodical plays? Where are the trades? Where are the specifications of utility that we saw when it came down to Velocity for the first 6 rounds? The Viper was good, but the Viper was overly aggressive. Vibor, he pushed his
Yeah.
way into the enemy spawn multiple times. Same goes for the side of Marcel. Marcel can do it, of course. He's a duelist. He just wants to gain a little bit of space, but Vibor should be holding down inside of a side, not pushing up. These are a lot of the mistakes being done by Velocity that just absolutely shocked me. Their attacking side was
Right.
pretty good. It was strong, but their defense?
They got some good
Question.
kills in the attacking side, right? They used the double controller setup to their advantage. They got a lot of space on the back of the boards, Toxic Screen as well as Poison Cloud. But when it actually came to using it on the defensive side, you mentioned it, right? This is an extremely defensive based composition. You got to play defensively, but Team VLT, they sort of pushed up on every single opportunity they had, and they paid the price for it. They were punished for every single push that they committed. You look at the final rounds of this half itself, you'll understand that Vapor as well as Deathmaker, they were pushing uselessly, trying to get in map control, trying to get in real estate, even when Team EXO isn't coming anything, even when they're not giving away information as well as um not trying to get map control. They're just holding back, holding their positions, trying to station themselves in the back lines and waiting for VAT to come with these unforced errors. And when they do so, they're capitalizing and getting that man advantage right. When that happens, you know you're doomed, right? And that is basically the name of the game in the map of buying. When you don't really have the man advantage, the rest of the team, they're always gonna finish you up. And Team EXO, they just took their chances. They did not have an opportunity in the first half, but you look at the timeline, it has been an absolute devastation in the second half when they made a comeback. Nobody expected this, but Team Velocity, this was, I would say, a huge choke from their side.
Yeah, Velocity, they were the home favorites to try and win this one out, but overconfidence. Like, look at this situation here. Helef, he didn't need to go in for a reswing, but he still went in for that. Costed him his life. Everyone else started to take 1v1 engagements, and this was the case over and over again throughout this entire game. It was always a 2 versus 5, or pretty much a 2 versus 4, 3 versus 4. There was always a man advantage going in the favor of the side of EXO because their trades were just stronger. If Velocity lost out on the first initial engagement, then it's just over. There's no way they can come on back from it. They just kept falling
Exactly.
like dominoes over and over and over again in every single one of the rounds that they did take engagements in. It's a heartbreaking tear for Velocity because now Team EXO, they're the ones who have the advantage. They're the ones going into the third map, the map of Icebox, mind you, where they are very prominent, and
Yeah.
it's not looking that good for them. Looking at the scoreboard though, that what is gonna be looking good is Ghost. 21 kills. He was having a pretty rough start right off the get-go, but after he mentally reset himself, teammates, so they're back on the flow once again. 19 kills for Excali, Ghost has 21, Sai with 16, and Blackhawk and Win respectively with 11 and 9. But looking at the side of Velocity Gaming instead, they had the kills, but did they have the strategy? Not today. Not on
I
this
mean,
map,
they
at
had the
least.
strategy in the first half, of course, but these unforced errors which they committed in the second half probably cost them the game. But yeah, I mean, the scoreboard kind of tells you one story, right? The duels, the trade game was perfect. It's just that they couldn't make up or use these skills to give them useful rounds for themselves, and they lost a lot of useless rounds, to be honest. But I mean, all that said and done, I feel like there is still an opportunity for redemption. This is the upper bracket finals, of course, so even if they lose in this game, they still have an opportunity for redemption. um But with that being said and done, what do you think of Brazil? Because next up, it's going to be Icebox. Now, Icebox is something where VLT sort of are good on, but Team EXO, they're really great on this. So it's going to be tough for them. And you mentioned it right. Bind was supposed to be VLT's hunting ground. They won on the map split. There should have been an automatic 2-0. But then we also have this trend of winning on winning away from home, right? And both the
Yep.
teams did that already. Now in a neutral venue, you always have to find a decider. Like this is going to be a dilemma for us, for the audience as well, because right now you don't know who to pick.
For now, it's a cold winter night. So heading on down into Icebox, I think it's pretty fitting to end off the entire night for us and to crown our first grand finalist coming on down tomorrow. But for now, at least, Salty, the main thing that I really want to highlight, first of all, is your question. I do believe that Team EXO, with the momentum that they do have, should be the ones to take away map number 3, primarily because EXO is a very momentum-based team. If they have the taste of victory, they're just going to rush after it and they're going to be able to grab onto it, latch onto it like a crocodile going in for a death roll. They're not going to let go for even a second. And for Velocity, though, on the other hand, it feels like they need to try and humble themselves a little bit because too many errors, man, too many. This is not the type of like, if it was like an aim diff, I would say that, okay, it's a problem. But there was not really an aim diff now, was it? Both of the teams were hitting shots.
Yeah.
Both of the teams, they had a specific strategy in mind. But Velocity, they threw all of the strategy out of the window as soon as the defensive side came in. Overly aggressive, too much map control being established, too many gunfights being taken on a 1v1 engagement level, and they paid the ultimate price for it with their own lives. They lost out on the map. They lost out on a 13-9 scoreline instead of a 13-10. Thanos will be mad as well. So heading on down over onto the map of Icebox, things are just not going to be looking good for them. But we're going to be setting up map number 3, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be back with you real shortly after a small little break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial. Our apparel partners are 6x6, accessory partners Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner is none other than Aimlab. Your boy Aggressive is back, going in the hyperspeed pace, because now we're jumping straight into the agent selection screen. No ads, no nothing, no talks whatsoever, because my boy Crips is now here on the desk with me. Salty, he's been having a really tough day. 5 games, 5 best of 5 intense matches, all pretty much shifting on down over into overtime. He needs a little bit of a break. That's why my boy Crips is going to be coming on down through to bring you the last and final game here to decide who's going to be our first grand finalist for the entirety of the Tec Gauntlet Season 3. How are you feeling, my man? Because match number 1 and match number 2, both of them were bangers, but at the same time, both matches were pretty much a lot of mistakes being made by both sides and a lot of punishes been happening throughout.
Oh boy. Really, your speed and your hype really makes me excited to be here as well. I came in here halfway, but oh my god, I feel like I'm in the thick of things. Both the teams have had their little fair share of fair share of bright days. Some of them have faced some dark days as well, and now we are back to square one. We have reached neutral ground, and the conclusion of this game will determine which one of these teams is gonna have a straight highway to the finals. Let's get into it. This is map number 3, and we're going into the Gold Tundra.
This is going to be an interesting one in my eyes at the very least, because when you consider the map of Icebox, it's nothing like Byte, it's nothing like Split. There is a couple of similarities, but you play it in a very different fashion. This is not a puggish map. This is a map that is built upon strategy. You need to know how to strategize. You need to have a proper game plan when you're executing down onto your site. And you need to have a strong sense of how to position yourself when it comes down to the defensive end. One small positioning mistake, if you over-aggress even a little bit without a contingency plan or a backup to get yourself out of a situation, then you're just dead. There's no way you're going to be able to survive that. Because the amount of corners and the amount of angles you need to worry about, it's quite difficult. But I would personally say that initially we all hated Icebox because of the amount of angles that we had. But now that we know all of the angles, now that we love the map, I would personally say this is one of my more favorite maps in general, because even though there are a lot of angles, you kind of can expect where people can be depending on the timing, depending on the situation. That's why now Icebox is one of the hardest maps to master. If you are not able to find a proper angle to hold, if you don't know where to look, it's just gone right then and there. And Excali, he's trying to pretty much poof someone's head off, but still, Deathmaker, he's gonna go in for the shot. He's gonna go for one, but Sai immediately trades him out. Neutral ground once again. They're heading on down over towards the A side, just completely empty.
And you were right about knowing when to peek. This time, Deathmaker was not spotted first. They attacked the actual site itself and spotted one person up on the zipline tower. And then Deathmaker peeked, got a kill, but luckily that's all that he was able to do. Back to a 4v4. They're trying to use the shock dart and the snake bites to deny the plant. He becomes vulnerable, and that's why one single shock dart is enough to get the kill. And even the Viper is low on the side of TEAMXO. What do you do now? You can't plant the spike, there's only 20 seconds left. In fact, the spike is heading down towards the left-hand side of port 10. A rather risky route to take, but Blackhawk is making it all worth it. He tries to go for the tricky shocks as well. But Blackhawk with just a triple. Can he survive this good timing from Ace? 18 HP. Not anymore.
For this situation.
It doesn't even matter what weapon you have at that point, right? Both the weapons are out of ammo. He thought that switching to another gun would be faster than, reloading or something like that. So why not? The risk is justified. But at that moment, so close, and both of them not having the full HP, it all just boils down to nerves, man. And if you're capable of in the moment, then you get the round. Otherwise, no. It's been a rather disappointing start for VLT, but I have to say, the shock darts from right to Ace were on point, and that kind of swung the round in their favor for just a little bit. But then Blackhawk came in and demolished all their dreams. Deathmaker though, if he can thread this needle, this could be huge. He will even spot the spike. There is the Sage waiting for him right around the corner, but can he prepare himself? Maybe he can catch Wimp too. Oh my god, the timing on this guy. How has he gone unseen all this while? And now Ghost will have a very embarrassing apology to his teammates. How did this happen? Excali trying to make things good. does get the kill, and he's going for the even riskier angles. Ace, he knows where he is, but Scally goes unchecked, turns around 180 degrees and still gets Ace.
Blocking sight.
And his rampage continues. He's pointed out Hellfighter as well. Maybe he can capitalize on the reload. The pre-fire comes through, and that is another one for Excali.
Oh, that's a phantom. Is he gonna throw it? Yeah, he's just gonna throw it away. Oh, god damn it, Marzel. An absolute menace. Threw away the phantom. Could have used it for maybe a clutch situation because you have the aim to make it all work, but Marzel, he's just not gonna risk it. Even if he dies, he's gonna make sure he deals as much eco damage as he possibly can. That phantom's not gonna be able to see the light of day on the other side, but shots. He knows where they are, but Marzel, he has no way of getting this kill. He has no way of flushing out this round. He just needs to find this. Just one kill, just one. If he's able to get it, this round is more than successful for the side of defense. Not gonna happen.
Can someone please explain to me how did Deathmaker get so lucky every time he went unchecked all the way up until the attacking spawn?
No one
I mean,
expects you to do.
Exactly, like that's either super high level sixth sense or just plain goddamn luck. Ghost doesn't spot him, he walks right past him and then gets someone completely else, and Wimp has to be wondering how did Deathmaker even come here in the first place. A lapse in communication, and Deathmaker turns into Harry Potter for a second with the invisibility cloak.
Hey, he drank some Felix Felices before he came over here. If you know what that is, it's a potion. I don't think you remember the Half-Blood Prince, do you?
It wasn't one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, basically, Felix Felices was a potion that gives you good luck
Oh yeah,
for
the
an
lucky
entire day.
potion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Given by Slughorn. Pretty sure that Deathmaker drank one of those before he came over here. He's been getting plays like this throughout this entire day. He's been walking into enemy territory, getting a free kill and just getting out. In this situation, he just didn't get out, but it's fine. Because they dealt the damage, they have the eco to work with, but what they don't have is the smokes from the side of Helif. The Viper dying out this early on the side of defense could just spell doom for the entirety of Velocity.
They're still keen on pushing though. They are aware of the risks. They might also be aware that EXO has a stack over here, which is true. More people present towards the B side as compared to A. A high ground angle from Excali won't yield him any results, but at least now he knows that Deathmaker is towards Snowman. Report gets Ghost, but it's neutralized by Excali. Still a 3 versus 3. Deathmaker, they are aware about his position, but they're still not giving him any angles. Excali aware of the danger, but still deciding to engage Report in a 1 versus 1. A very brave one that too, but Deathmaker now finally starts to pop off. A double kill for him. Marzel coming in for the final, and that is another one for Team Velocity. Whew. A rather sweaty round indeed. It came down to the wire, both the teams having adequate weaponry, and both of them deciding to call on each other's bluff.
They just knew what was up in this situation. They knew what to expect. They knew how to take in the push at the very last second and the engagement as well. But I digress. You should never get way too comfortable, especially after winning out on your first buy round, because that buy round, is that a proper win? Oh, hell no! Because your opposition has still enough money to go in for the proper buys in the following rounds. That was just a possible bonus for them, but still, Excali! You need to give that up. You cannot stay up in the air for that long because Deathmaker, he's gonna have your phone number. He tries to call up another person, but still, the call's gonna be busy. But for now, TEAMXO, they're looking to see if they can break and enter down towards into this A side. It's looking ripe for the pick-in, but right to Ace, he's got a couple of shock darts to tell a different story.
Preemptive wants that too. Another snake bite will possibly prevent Marzel from peeking, and now the barrier up keeps him safe for just a little bit longer, but it's been broken instantly. Not so safe anymore. Blackhawk pushes on the back of that slow up and goes too. Marzel only good for 1, but the trades still are neutral. Hellfighter's backstab will be detected, and that's why the spike is also making its way back. They realize that most of the players of Team Velocity have already come towards the A side, and that's only Hellfighter, the person watching the backside. If they get the kill on him, they have a free reign towards the B side. It will take a long time for Ace and Vibor to get there.
30 seconds left.
And they're still not going. They fall back just momentarily. hoping to sell the fake that they're going back towards the B side, but now they are still on A, and now this recon dot is suddenly grabbed the top it. A spraying down both of them! The movement on this guy, incredible. Sai has barely any time left, and Ward is trying to deny the plant. It's gonna be
10
risky
seconds
planting now
left.
too. He has no idea where the other player is, only Vibhor. That's all the information he has, and
no
he
time.
doesn't even have any bullets, and now no time, now no heads. Toying around with him. Vibhor, he's the annoying predator. Just teasing the hell out of his prey before he finally consumes him.
That sounds like my ex.
Oh, ouch. I could feel that.
I had to. That literally felt like the perfect situation, but moving on down the line from that dark joke of my life, it's gonna be a 2-2 score. It's gonna be a 2-2 scoreline. A very smart run, I would say, from the side of Vibhor, though. Vibhor, he had the most perfect situation in general for this fight. He knew exactly what he needed to do. Just take it slow, take it easy. Don't even allow Sai to go in for the plan, and Sai's that type of player that's never gonna go in for it with Vibhor! Why? You're a Sage! You give that one up! You don't hold the side of B main.
That has to be Excali and his incredible aim skill. Before, he's just going for a tiny little jiggle peek. Wasn't supposed to be that risky. It wasn't supposed to be lethal at all. But oh my god, does he get a free haircut. Excali, then there's a new barber in town. Asking for a little bit of hair gel on top, and he's gonna put it on style. More shock darts to come through, and Hellfighter realizes it's better to carry both the weapons forward rather than giving one up.
Oh no, that's gotta hurt. You missed the shot. Ooh. It's not gonna be the best of situations now, is it? Moving on down the line here. 2-2, but Excali! Okay. Another shot for him. The Sheriff's gonna be able to sing. He's been running down his Aimlab routines quite well, but now is it gonna be able to save him down through for another kill, though? Is the real question. The guns are still in their hands. A 5 versus 3 situation, heading on down over into a retake. The Viper spit should be good for the hold, but Blackhawk, he didn't have the spike on him. This is gonna be bad. Everyone's gonna get caught. Possibly the kill's gonna be the thing that comes on down through as well. So much spam, so many bullets. They should be able to hold, but for now at least, Excali is just getting all the freebies. 3 kills for him, sitting it down over to a 3 versus 2 situation. This is not looking good. They don't have any automatic weapons. They're just gonna hold. They're just gonna take a fight. They're just gonna try and survive. And with that, the defenders take the win here. And Marcel, you're absolute beautiful, man. You just stick the spike, and he makes sure that his buddy Deathmaker does not die in vain.
Oh my god, the battle of ultimates. You had the Hunter's Fury and the Viper's Spit being committed by TEAMXO, and then Marzel on the back of just that one lockdown gets so many players detained. Yes, sure, there was one opportunity of the defuse being denied because one of the players still had his guns outside, was still able to shoot, but that was not enough. The bodyguard in the form of Excali denying things, just delaying time so much, and buying space for his teammates to go for the defuse. Velocity, they stick this one out, and Deathmaker, I have to give this man so much credit. He was the one who protected the diffuser last round, and now he's the one who's trying to get the first pick. And this is one of his favorite positions. Almost everyone on EXO knows where Deathmaker is, but still the man sticks around here, doesn't want to fall back, knowing full well that his enemies will have to call a massive, massive amount of respect in order to actually face him over there. They give up on B, now heading towards A. There's only Hellfighter over here to protect it. Ace is quick enough. He can come here in time if Hellfighter needs backup. But as soon as that Viper Toxin screen and the Killjoy and Narstorm grenades are thrown in, Ace will also start to gravitate towards the A side a little bit more. But I think they're still going to let Extra go for the plant. Velocity not really doing anything to take control of the A side back. Maybe they'll play just for the retake. Or maybe the Nanoswarm can delay the plant for X a little bit. No, Ghost is planning on top.
Ooh, that was a good shock dart. They just placed it a little bit further back. That would have been perfect for them, but still, look at the plant spot. The plant is actually on top side of heaven. That is a strong plant angle, but still, They're not able to get into proper postman positioning. Marzel spots at the head of Ghost. Ghost takes a chunky amount of damage, and now Blackhawk, he's on his lonesome. No, he's not gonna be able to find that kill. Marcel gets away with murder. He does get traded, but still he finds 2 kills for himself. This is more than enough. They have nothing to worry about. Halfway defuse also came on down through. They just need to hold. They just need to wait. And the last player also gets taken down. Right to Ace with the Hunter's Fury, and Hellfighter with the last bullet on towards the skull of Ghost. 4 and 2. And Velocity, what was this round? Absolute and utter chaos, but still 4 of them get out of this alive.
Velocity were comfortable with letting TEAMXO have the side in the first place. They knew that they had everything required to go for the retake. Right, Ace had been sitting on that Hunter's Fury for quite some time. Knowing that Wimp was close to his lockdown, if Wimp got a single kill, he would have been able to deploy the lockdown, and Ace was like, yeah, sure, buddy, go ahead and do that, please. I have something just to counter that. And Velocity, the way they were using the utility to somehow disrupt the plant situation of TEAMXO, forced EXO to plant upstairs. And yeah, while that is a easier location to defend, getting out of that place alive can be a tricky problem. That's what even caused more chaos in the camp of EXO, because now half of them are trying to get angles on the diffuser, but the other half is just trying to get out of that sticky situation because there's just so many players of Velocity right around you. You feel crowded. Velocity, now having won 4 rounds in a row, kinda are running away with the half. TEAMXO had a decent start because they won the pistol and the second, but after that, it's just been the Velocity show.
Now, on this 4 and 2, Velocity, with this pause that they have taken, this is a technical pause, ladies and gentlemen, so the momentum that they did gain is kind of broken. How are they going to try and recollect themselves? Because now is the place where the strategy starts to kind of mix in a little bit more. So let's just see what we can expect. 4 and 2. Highest possibility of a 5 and 2 here, because you got to remember, EXO, they're going to have to go in for an eco. But, Crips, I want to ask you this. Initially, we saw so much of the Marshall, and we are still seeing the Marshall being picked up over and over again throughout the entirety of NA and EU when it comes down to the VCT. So why is it not really showing up here? The Marshall is such a strong weapon now. 950 credits, 1-shot potential to the head, and a 2-shot to the body. It's basically a better Sheriff when you consider the no-scope accuracy. And no one's picking it up when it comes down to the eco rounds. Like, I personally always pick up a Marshall when it comes down to my eco rounds. And I have turned around rounds just by having a Marshall in my hand. It's such a strong weapon, but people still opt to go in for Sheriffs?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that 150 credits is better utilized getting 1 extra piece of utility. Maybe the extra Cloudburst on the Jet, or maybe an extra Snakebite charge. Probably help you secure more map control. So yeah, I guess that's why they're being extremely frugal, extremely calculative. I've seen Paradox play the Marshall quite well, and every now and then we have Deathmaker picking it up. He hasn't done so in this match, but yeah, we saw glimpses of that Marshall every now and then. I'm sure there will be some of the other round where Deathmaker feels himself, you know, being called out by the Marshall. If he can feel the weapon, feel it in his wings, then yeah, why not? Either way, at this point, we're waiting on a slight technical pause. A little bit of packet loss for some of these players. As soon as it's fixed, we'll be getting back into the thick of the action. But it gives these teams a little bit more time to talk it out. Velocity, they've had a pretty long day already. Both these teams, in fact.
Yeah, they're just not in the right state of mind as well now, are they? A couple of given rounds being given away, it's gonna hurt you a lot mentally. And the way that they're trying to go in for a lot of these fights and a lot of these engagements as well, it makes you question it, but at the same time, hey, if it works, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, the Velocity, you want to find that mentality, then sure, go in for the fights, but you need to be a lot more careful, especially from the side of Vibor, man. It feels as though Vibor, you know, he's getting a little bit too overzealous and a lot more overconfident than he should be. I understand. He is one of the best aimers that we have in our entire region. But should he try and abuse that? Not really. So hopefully Velocity, they're going to be able to find that proper middle ground, because after what happened in the last game, they do not want that to happen once more when it comes down to the map of Icebox. This is their do or die. Otherwise, they're being sent down over to the lower brackets decider finals.
Yeah, the stakes are pretty high over here. You don't want to be in the lower bracket, especially when you've done so much work just to have the upper seed, just to be in the better place. Sure, it is another chance. It's not like it's the end of the world, but you wouldn't want to work extra when you've already done so much today. Keep in mind that both these teams have been playing for a long time. I mean, both these games were pretty stretched out. And Velocity, these guys have already played another best of 5 earlier in the day, which they won, by the way. Congrats to them. So they've already got a little bit of achievement to themselves this day. But can they continue that form? Can they take it forward in the Gauntlet as well and get inside the finals uncontested, undisputed?
It's just the fact that Velocity, they have the potential, but at the same time, EXO, they've been working their butts off for this as well. You gotta remember, they did the homework to take down Velocity on their home map, even though they lost out on the map of Split. And even though they lost on the map of Split, the loss really didn't scream to me that Velocity, they deserved it, because they were making a lot of mistakes, and the rounds that they did not make mistakes upon, they were able to win it out because of proper strategy and them outstratting EXO. But those rounds were too little and far between. And if Team EXO want to win this, they need to do it now. Velocity, as soon as they start getting back into the groove, as soon as they have warmed up together as a squad once again, they don't make those mistakes over and over again. They are a team that constantly evolves after making a mistake, and after a loss on the map of Byte, they're gonna be double sure that they don't make the same mistakes twice. But still, Deathmaker, don't go in for a peek. Let this one go. Deathmaker, he's dead. He should die. There's no way he survives this. But hey, before just bails him out, sure. If I had a teammate like that.
Oh, getting away with murder right there. Cold-blooded. Vapor, just so accurate. Deathmaker 2. Yep. It's Icebox, and this is murder right here in cold blood. What are you gonna do about it?
Any more cold
Wimp,
buns
in
from you?
fact. Wimp does feel a little bit of heat over there. But still, nothing
Fire
as
and ice
cold.
situation.
Yeah, I know. Fire and ice, they're channeling everything nice. All the crosshairs pointed directly at the enemy's heads, and yeah, that's just gonna make sure that you don't have a good time in bed. You're gonna have nightmares about that.
Hey, I already have enough nightmares after what Deathmaker has been doing since the last game. Sometimes he hits the nuttiest shots, getting an ace for himself, and you're like jaw-dropping insane A's that's gonna possibly go on the Instagram of the Esports Club. Make sure to check out the Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. And then there are other situations where he starts jump peeking a corner with an operator.
Okay, this is the first time TEAMXO have gone for a mid approach this round.
What did I
Two
just
people
say?
trying to get inside
What
there.
did I just say?
Well, finally, Deathmaker, someone stops his killing spree. He's been taken down towards the B entrances. Now, that's good, actually. But TEAMXO, they are hurtling down that narrow corridor. The nanoswarm grenade, cooking Ghost alive. Muzzle, he gets one with the guns, too. And now Vibor has redirected his attention towards the right places. Sai still alive inside kitchen alongside Whip, but they make contact with Ace, and he's gonna put some bullets in their face. Wonderful defense by Team Velocity over here, and XO, they tried for mid push, but it did not work out. That tube region turning into their mass grave.
Grave would even make the Pharaohs proud, but for EXO and their fans back at home, that's not something that you want. 6-2. The side of Velocity, they're pretty much running away with the victory at this point if the side of EXO don't start picking it up. Exact same compositions, mind you. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much a strategic diff. And Ghost, he's finally picked up that Marshall. Will he be able to make it sing though is the real question. Vibor, he spots out one of the heads. But now, misses out on the shot. That's going to cost him. Vibor instead is going to be the one to shut him down almost immediately. Good shots from the man. But now, it's all up to Marshall. Just walk out, Going for a kill.
Oh no. How does Marzel end up dying in that situation? I really thought he's got this under control, but Vibhor and Ace, they have it in the bag. Oh, and what a switch up by Team Velocity. We were speaking about Deathmaker and all the shenanigans he's doing towards the B side. Vibhor was with them all this time, but now both these players have switched up position. Deathmaker opting towards A, Vibhor holding down mid like an absolute turret.
Toxins going up.
And now he's on for more. Oh no, it's Hellfighter. He's got the Viper diff over there. But Velocity just switching things up every now and then, keeping it fresh. And they know that Deathmaker and Vibhor are popping off today. They're feeling their aim. So they keep on just changing places. And one player in a different position can make all the difference. They keep TEAMXO under the belief that Velocity will always play aggressively towards the B side, but that's not always the case. With Deathmaker going towards A, all that positions that were checked by EXO while they were trying to just peek out of B, the angles that they were holding on the back of the Toxin screen, it didn't work out for them. Excali though, now this time making good on the situation, but Deathmaker still continuing to pop off. Immediately goes for the trade, and Excali's been taken down as well.
Swarm grenade.
Now the position's primed up. It's all up to Marzel, slowly but surely sneaking his way up. Spots out the first initial head for the win! He had the better crosshair placement. He's the one to catch him off guard and shoot a bullet into his skull instead. That's gonna cost him as well, because that's gonna be the 4 versus 4 situation. Marzel just needed to get 1 kill, but now without that 1 kill, things are not looking that good for them. Once again, those preemptive shock darts are so good. This one, Toxin, is gonna be even better. Oh, 6 massive amounts of damage. Needs to head out of it, needs to pop the heal for himself. And that's gonna be 1 more extra resource that they don't have to work with. And now, the push coming on down through. It's all up to Helif and his squad to just push his way up.
Nice.
No utility whatsoever. They need to go. And they need to go right to X. Right to Shock Dart?
Great stuff right there. Team Velocity have given EXO enough time to reset, but EXO are still doing their best to hold down the diffuser. Deathmaker providing cover to the person who's trying to wrap the spike, but Ghost continues to pop some heads off. That's a third for him. Ace has been doing really well for his team. His chopped up kills were great. His final kill is also nice, but it's not enough to get them the round.
This is just not gonna work. It's a good start, but at the same time, the way that they took the engagement, it was a little bit questionable. But you have to give it to EXO, man. No shots fired at them, no scopes whatsoever. Ghost, he played that round beautifully. That swing came in at the perfect time. The bullet just magically traced its way down over towards the heads of every single one of the players, being able to shut it all down. Good play from Team EXO, but they need to be a lot more consistent with it. Look at their economy. They won the round, but does it look like they won? Oh, hell no. They're still down in economic hell. And unless they get a pretty decisive win here, they're going to be staying there for a while.
Oh no!
But Excali?
What?
Excali?
They passed each other, they didn't see each other. Ace has absolutely no idea that Excali's over here. Excali could have had 2 free kills instead of just 1, but now he's going for the absolute bottom of the barrel move.
There's a special place in hell for you, Excali.
Not just for him, even for Deathmaker. Excali could have killed Deathmaker over there as well, but now he's killed Marzel and Ace. Oh my god. 2 for the price of 1. And that's all because Deathmaker decided to peek under tube instead of kitchen there. No utility placed either. How did Excali get past so many people to enable his team to get inside the site?
Enable himself to get a knife, you mean?
A knife, bro. Just gutted them like a fish. Pulled their spine out, quite literally.
He's been playing a lot of Fruit Ninja recently, so it's understandable. Okay. Okay.
Oops.
No, not against Deathmaker though. It's just not gonna work. You don't tempt the man, because this man is more of a demon than a man.
Yeah, but a demon who doesn't have eyes on the back of his head. he at least gets that one kill, kind of makes up
Last
for
round before the switch.
what he cost the team. And hey, I mean, sure, Excali was able to thread Neil, but that round could have been so much more different. Deathmaker could have not had the op in this round. At least he gets to take that forward into the next round, so that's a bonus right there. Excali could have executed him. Somehow, he didn't see Deathmaker. Deathmaker didn't see Excali. Both the Jets ignoring each other. You don't see that very often. That's quite comical.
Once again, Deathmaker, he's going in for his own push. Possibly, maybe finding one kill. Just swing out, man. He had it.
Toxin screen poisons off.
But he missed out on it at the wrong time.
Yeah, the toxin screen protected him.
No,
And
dude,
Deathmaker didn't even
he
get
could see
spot-
him. He couldn't see him over the toxic screen. That was a kill. If Wim
Yeah.
died there, though, EXO, they had no way of winning this round. Because Wimp, he's going to be an important factor for this hold. Unless they get him to stay alive, this is not going to be looking good for them.
Velocity is still spread out on a defaultish
Toxin
location
screen
of
down.
sorts. Only 2 people towards the B side. A still holding mid. Deathmaker's push towards the A pipes region didn't yield him anything. So at least that information kind of indicates to Team Velocity that EXO will definitely go for a B push. And they make it to the side. Kind of uncontested too, but they can't plant just yet because there's a Hunter's Fury by Ace. Oh, and so many pings! My god, that recon dart was not destroyed. It goes off all 3 times, giving Ace a bird's eye view over the site. And now he's making up good for it.
One enemy
He
remaining.
denied the spike plant with the Hunter's Fury. And a revive in the open. This is a bait. Somehow Deathmaker can't kill him, but Excali uses the bait successfully. They destroy Velocity, just winning the aim duels.
Switching sides.
Despite everything that Right to Ace did, how did EXO still manage to win this round? It's absolutely ridiculous how EXO can sometimes exploit Velocity's weaknesses so much.
I'm surprised as you. This round should have easily gone in the favor of the side of Velocity, but
Yeah.
it took only 2 mistakes to break down this entire fight.
I mean, you can't even call them mistakes as of them, right? I mean, EXO made 2
Forced
mistakes as
out.
well.
Yeah, forced out
EXO
mistakes.
No, but even EXO made mistakes. That's the thing. They didn't break that recon dart. It went off all 3 times. The revive was out there in the open. Deathmaker could have easily killed both the Sage and the person she revived. But that did not happen either. Excali protected
Here.
the revived person, used him as bait, and man, my god, Excali, he's like the bodyguard of the year. And he does
Ooh,
more than
those
just
top
protect
guys.
his teammates. He gets the round.
That's the real case here, but I do personally believe that that revive was used purely for the senses of bait.
Yeah.
Excali, he did miss out on the first initial shot on Deathmaker because of the miss really that cost him, but it's fine. Last round, you didn't have the feeling in your gut for that final shot, and Deathmaker just isn't feeling himself as much as he normally does. He's not on his Deathmaker mode. He's more like on his DM mode, I would say. But, oh god, that wall came in so clutch. It did deny the plan, but now they're going to be walking straight in, but Blackhawk, he misses the shot, that's going to cost him. Vimor's going to be gone for one more, but Ghost with the jumping classic right click's going to be the one to take down Vimor instead. Ghost, good shots, but still. Are you going to be able to push up forward? They need one more kill, otherwise the equalization is just not going to happen.
Ko's still trying to look for an angle. He knows where Right to Ace is across the yellow box, but all the other 3 people up inside the greens region, double peeking. The discipline is so strong and Velocity right now. Nobody's overextending. Every time Ace reveals himself, his teammates swing on the back of that either. And Deathmaker, so precise with the sheriffs. But Ghost, he's dinging everybody in the head. Hellfighter though with the classic burst jump. He gets everything done. And Velocity
Player standing.
just frag out this round. That wall, I have to admit, was pretty comical. This could have been so much better for TEAMXO if they were able to kill the planter or at least use the verticality to their advantage maybe, but it wasn't successful. Velocity somehow were also able to fall back into the safe places after the plant. EXO tried to jump them. They tried to use the timing, thinking maybe that while they're busy out there protecting the planter, they can get a couple of frags, but no, all of the people of EXO, they're not able to find them. At least they find the ultimate orbs though, so that's good for EXO. Ghost just 2 points away from resurrection. None of his other teammates have any more ultimate points. They're all on just one.
And now it's Ghost's turn to maybe do a little bit of damage of his own. Just not gonna happen, not today. Deathmaker's gonna be able to shut down a second and one by one. All the members of EXO, they're just gonna drop like flies. Is that really a surprise? No, not really. Hold positions, hold it down strong. Push yourself forward, and maybe, just maybe, you go for one more kill as well, Nebor.
One enemy remaining.
It's taken out, and Excali just casually slaps him in the face with it. But Helef, he's waiting for it. He's like, come into my arms, my brother. I'm gonna give you a big hug. And Excali's like, I'm happy to oblige. But Helef at the same time is like, no. New COVID strand. I gotta stay safe.
Hey, at least they saw a Hellfighter coming in from mid. I mean, he could have chosen to not reveal this strat, but because Hellfighter got spotted over here, at least EXO now know that Velocity are comfortable with the mid pushes. EXO tried the mid push only once in the previous half, and that did not work. Velocity, they haven't gone for the mid push just yet. Both these teams actually just relying on their A hits and B hits respectively. They're not mixing it up with mid too much. And that's become a pattern of sorts. Nobody really exploits mid as much as you think that one could. We're seeing VCT champions and they almost always send a couple of lurkers over there. If not, then whenever most of the teams make it through there, it's on the back of a very fast execute. And we haven't seen anything of that sort from both these teams yet. Maybe Velocity will have that strat, I don't know, deep somewhere in their pockets, and they'll pull it out when they think the time is right. But so far, nothing.
It's just the way that these fights are being done by Velocity. It's good, but the main thing that I really want to see from EXO is a little bit more of an initiative. And just as you say, that the mid control is a very crucial point. But for now, Velocity, as we were speculating previously as well, they are constantly switching up their strategies over and over again. Can we actually say that Velocity is playing in a certain way? No.
No.
We just can't, because the way that they're switching up, the slight changes, it's not even like a drastic change. That's what I love about Velocity. They know when to do the changes really small, and they know how to make it absolutely gigantic. So they switch over the strategy, sending 2 people on towards mid, 3 on A. But now they're going in for a 5-sec A rush, and if they're able to take the A side control, then they will start moving on down inside of it. Otherwise, they're going to go in for a normal, very default rotation down over onto B, then establish the mid control, play their defaults down. But the thing is, A is one of those sides that if you want to execute, you need to go in immediately, because trying to go in for a re-execution after a fake, it's just not going to look that good for you.
Let's see what looks good. Whether it's Deathmaker on a Sheriff or Excali on a Vandal. For now, Excali won't be seeing any action though. He's doing speed. We have over here Sova and Viper in the form of Blackhawk and Sai. Both trying to defend the A site, but because there's just so much Viper utility in their way, he doesn't have a line of sight onto them. The players on rafters cannot see Deathmaker approaching, and he's stuck in all the way towards the bottom of the zipline tower. In fact, not just him, even the Spike is over here. They can plant safely on the back of this barrier orb, but there is a counter poison cloud as well. You know, that will make any planter vulnerable as they are trying to go over there, maybe enabling some easy shock dart kills, but none of that will happen. Recon dot to be thrown in, and now a 5v5 retake's begins. I mean, it's been 10 seconds into the retake and we still don't have any kills. This is the pacifist round of sorts. Sai now making first contact, but it's Wimp and Vipor who make it even deeper inside enemy territory. Lineups. They will try to defuse, but the lineups will kill the diffusers. Marsden left over here all by himself. Hello, providing cover from far.
Showtime.
Even his Overwatch doesn't help them.
Wait,
Just close. They got it. They've got this in the bag.
Oh god.
Hellfighter did all he could. his lineups, they kind of prevented the defuse from happening, but they got half of it, so that's how they were able to complete the rest.
The reverse magic number was possible though, so I think that the Valorant gods are gonna be happy. So Velocity, you did your job. You gave them the offering. Now hopefully you're gonna be able to close out this game as well soon enough. Otherwise, if TEAMXO are able to get one more round, you know what's gonna happen. Gun round, like so their economy is just gonna inflate massively here, and they're gonna have enough money to go in for proper buys in the following as well. With this round though, EXO, they don't really have a lot to work with. Two of them being forced onto Spectres, so those Spectres are possibly gonna be the biggest deficit here, but Excali just gets away with murder, finds one kill for himself, but still Vibor, he's gonna be the one to survive. He's gonna be the one to fix all of those problems. He has his own resurrection, but Ghost, he cannot use his. Excali's not in a position to get revived, but if Ghost is able to inch his way up, it's gonna be good. But Deathmaker, just hold the angle, don't let it go, spot it out the shoulder. It's gonna be good for the kill. It's gonna be the one to find it as well. Break it down, break down those walls, and try and get this kill. And Ghost, he knows he cannot go in for this revive. And this round, it's not gonna be going in the favor of the side of EXO anytime soon.
Both the teams getting greedy over there. Excali still trying to push, even though he was revealed by all of Ace's utility. The drone first, the recon dart later, and he died over there. Ghost tried to help him out with the revive. Even Wimp was there,
30
just so that they
seconds
could throw extra bodies, but
Last
both of them
player
ended up going
standing.
down, and now it's just down to Blackhawk. And right to Ace. Him proving that the Sovas can be so resourceful in dealing with these pesky high ground positions that Jets can take. I mean, he tagged up Excali twice, once with the drone, once with the recon, and Excali has to be so annoyed. And I'm pretty sure that there will be comms in the EXO roster right now, all of them bombarding instructions to Ghost, asking him to go for the revive over there. And now there's two people that he could have revived, right? He first put up that ball to go ahead and hopefully get Excali online, but now even Wimp died and he has a choice. A choice which, yeah.
Give me those.
Oh my god, Excali, he's angry right now. He tries to pull people he couldn't do in the last round, and he gets Marzel in the process.
For now, Excali, he's just gonna be that good here. Goes in for an immediate peek. With the Blade Storm, mind you, gets a freebie for himself. Expected that. No one's gonna be able to counter that as well, but LF, a swing and a half, man. Poor old Blackhawk didn't even know what hit him. The recon bolt has been destroyed. And Excali, he's trying to look for one more kill.
Nice.
Beautiful headshot on towards the face of Deathmaker. The shots are so clean from this map. Swift, lead, and crispy. That's all that you want. Spots out one more of the players. Excali, his footsies have been seen. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, no one ever gives their feet.
Oh my god. Okay. You know, the only thing more disgusting than that comment is the amount of green stuff over here. There's a Viper's Pit, Toxin screen, and now Blackhawk has been revived in the middle of all this toxin.
God.
Good luck finding him in there.
One more.
They still find him. Vibor doing so much damage over here.
Last player
Ghost
standing.
though,
Of course, that
on the
classic is
zip
good.
line.
Enemy
He's
remaining.
behaving like a SEAL Team 6 agent right now, just flying around on the ropes, and now he can stick the T-Fuse with the barrier rob. Hellfighter forced to swing around the corner, but Ghost, he's prepared for it, still can't get the win. Down to 1 HP, and a single bullet is enough for him.
This was a very expensive round, though, in general for Velocity. This was an eco round, mind you, for EXO. They nearly won out on the eco. Against the Viper's Pit as well. Ultimates invested, but still they get the 11th on the board. This is the most crucial and the most important part of it all. 11 and 6. They have a Hunter's Fury. They have a Blade Storm. They can go in for a really fast execution, playing off of that Hunter's Fury if they want to use it for an execution strat, or if they want to use it for a post plant. But poor old Helef, he had the lineup, but it just didn't work out for him.
The bonk
Hello,
sound that
Scott.
this Poison Cloud makes is
Good
really
night.
funny, isn't it?
Well, Helef, we're gonna be missed.
Well, EXO though going so aggressively towards mid. I didn't expect this so early in the round from them, and the or how does he survive? Ace comes in and saves him. Blackhawk almost got the kill onto him. He could have
Here.
diffused. I'm sorry. He could have denied the spike plant right there, but somehow it still goes through. Now Excali trying to gather high ground over here. That cloudburst is a little bit of a one-way. Nobody can peek through it, and he's proving that he's the better jet over here against Deathmaker. Ace though with the Hunter's Fury trying to get a kill, even deny the diffuse.
Last player standing.
But Hellfighter is popping off all the heads. Excali now left to his own devices. He can't diffuse. There's just so much in the way. There's laser beams, there's poison, and now Hellfighter coming in from an off angle.
Match
The skill disparity, or rather the points disparity between the members of TEAMXO is just so huge right here. We have Excali sitting on 23 frags, doing all the heavy lifting for the team. Ghost being the battle sage with 14 frags, but Wimp, Blackhawk, and Sai not really feeling themselves as of now. Still sitting in single digits.
This is surprising. It hurts for the side of EXO as well. Like Scally, he's trying his hardest to perform. He's hitting all of the shots that he can, but he can't do more than this. Deathmaker finally finds that kill, shuts down the raid boss, and the hottest fragger for the side of EXO. He's now gone. Everyone else is not going to be the one to perform to his level, but need to try and find something. It's their time to shine once again. Viper's Split has been used though from the side of Blackhawk. Blackhawk is going to be able to get himself into a better position at the bare least, but not just yet. 5-man push onto A. They're going to have side control. There's no way Wimp's going to be able to stop this, especially with Justice Spectre. But for how long can he stall them is the real question. The backup's coming in, but this retake, it's not looking that good.
Targets destroyed.
Yeah, he can't even stall them. There's no nanoswarms in the way. The best that he can do is put up this lockdown, but oh yeah, that's what they needed. So if this Hunter's Fury was not committed, Velocity could have easily planted and then still fallen back to safety. But
30 seconds
now,
left.
with the Hunter's Fury and the lockdown, they have denied this plant for Velocity, and there's only 20 seconds left, so it's not like they can go back to B. They have to go for the plant now, and even the barrier orb is going to stop them even more. At this point, Velocity is just trying to buy some time, and they've been pretty successful at it. Sai still getting all the kills, but can they go for the plant?
Standing.
Oh, EXO trying to deny this one.
Oh,
Down to a
Viper
1v.
versus
What is the
Viper.
Viper versus Viper? And he's been revealed. Trying to pre-fire through the boxes. The wall bang won't connect. And he's running out of bullets.
Out of bullets.
Velocity, get
Attackers
this.
win.
Bullets matter, bullets matter. It's always gonna be a bit more at those clutch situations that you want to see. He knows what he needs to do. He just toys with their feelings and it just goes in for the final kill. Beautifully done here, ladies and gentlemen. The way that Velocity is just able to find all of this, it's on another level. Beautifully done from their side. 12-6 to a 13-6. They knew what was up. They knew how to close everything out. And sadly, EXO just fell apart. They're not going to be the ones to head on down over towards the grand finals, but still, they still have a chance. Decider finals is tomorrow. Last chance for them. If they're able to take down True Rippers, they take the spot and they're going to be able to go in for a rematch. But considering how True Rippers has been playing and also Paradox, it's going to be a roller coaster. But at the same time, let's finish the ride here, and right now before we talk about that. Let's head on down over towards the match highlight. Break it all down from a top-down view. And Crips, I'm going to be giving you this question before I hand over the mic. What do you think really went wrong for Team EXO? Because I felt as though the strategy was there, but execution-wise, it just didn't feel like they were in tune.
I kind of feel like Velocity in the second half, when they were on the attacking side, they made Team EXO use up a lot of their utility in Vayne. Either by baiting it out by faking, or they were just hoping that EXO use up all their offensive utility, the utility that causes damage like shock darts and snake bites. Velocity baited them out by faking the plant, and then it will only disrupt them. So Velocity were prepared for it. They knew that this maneuver takes some time, so they do it preemptively. And when the actual plant goes through from the side of Velocity, then Team EXO have no utility left to facilitate the retake. But let's take it down from the top half. let's take it down from this side when Velocity were on defense. Many of the times they were able to somehow push Team EXO back in the retake situations and go for the defuse. And the cover that they were providing each other is amazing. Sometimes it will be Vibor who puts down a barrier orb in the most annoying position, and then all you can hope to do is break the walls down in time and kill the person who is defending over there. And even if you somehow manage to break that wall, you then need to deal with Deathmaker, who's going to be the personal bodyguard of anyone who's trying to go for the death. If you manage to kill Deathmaker, if you manage to break the wall before it's weaker, I'm sorry, before it gets stronger, you know how the Sage wall is weak at first and then it solidifies, right? If you can break it down in time, kill Deathmaker, kill Vibhor, and then kill whoever is planting while also dodging Ace's Hunter's Fury, if you can do all of that, multitask like an absolute madman, then and only then you can win the round. And of course, TEAMXO, they can't have all that being thrown at them at the same time. There's a limit to how much stress and how much mental bandwidth you can allocate to these plays. And EXO just run out of that mental bandwidth. VLT are just doing too many things at the same time for them to even figure out what's right. And that's how Velocity were able to get the lead at the first half. And then we go into the second one. You see, Velocity, they don't hesitate falling back. Once they start committing to the site, they make sure that whatever utility that Team EXO can throw at them has already been used up, so that when they actually go in for the plant, there's not much that EXO can do to clear out angles, to gather map control, or even just flush out enemies from cover.
It's just, I completely agree with you there. Like, I have no other statements to add to that. That's the hard part. Like, when you go into the proper analysis, and I'm like sitting here being like, what should I say exactly? What should I agree on? There are no disagreements here. We already know the Team EXO, they just got outplayed and it came down to the terms of their utility. This was the exact same composition, both of them using similar strategies, but Velocity, they just played the utility game better, knowing when to invest their utility. So they used one utility, while Team EXO, they used like, what, 3 of theirs in multiple different rounds?
Yeah.
And you question that. 2 ultimates just for 1 snake bite. That happened 2 times during this entire game. So, looking at the scorecard though for now, Deathmaker, he has 20 kills, 299 ACS, one off that 300, but hey, we had these numbers for a really long time. But for Excali, it's a completely different story. 365 ACS with a 23 kill margin. He has been running around the server amok trying to just go in and find something for his team, but everyone else, they were just not able to show up. Ghost with 14, Blackhawk with 8, Sai with 7, and Wimp with 6. Doesn't really seem like EXO had a bad day. They had a really long day, to say the very least, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they were really tired. But Velocity, they played to their heart's content, and they made sure to give the proper payback towards EXO. EXO, they suffered their first set loss in the entire season. So, in a way, is it a sad story? I don't think so.
Yeah, they've already proven that they can be dominant. And EXO, they have a pretty good day. I mean, sure, they didn't win the game, but there were so many instances where EXO showed that they can clearly be the better team. And they know that some of their strats are absolutely bulletproof. So maybe they can use that information in the next few games and then maybe even learn from their mistakes. The journey for Team EXO is not over yet. They might have lost this game against Velocity, but the first 2 maps were incredibly close. So that's that. They don't need to bow their heads down in shame. They can hold it up high and they can go into the lower bracket feeling confident that they can once again bounce back and then exact revenge against Team Velocity when they meet them in the finals.
There's another chance for them to bring this one back, but will they be able to fully utilize that second chance? Now that's the thing that we really want to see. But for now, let's head on down over to the playoff brackets, ladies and gentlemen, to look at it one last time before tomorrow. That's when we crown a new champion. That's when we crown the new winner of this entire season. It's either Velocity, EXO, or True Rippers. And honestly speaking, Crips, True Rippers, I think they had the best Cinderella story out of everyone. Did we expect them to be here on the decider finals? Let alone if they make it to the grand finals. It's gonna be a story and a half, and it's gonna be one to remember.
Exactly. They were knocked down by Team EXO early on in this tournament. And after that, True Rippers has been tearing through the lower brackets. They destroyed Team Valor, they won against Team Enigma, and now they're facing Team EXO again. This is going to be a revenge match of sorts. Team EXO were the one team responsible for knocking True Rippers down into the lower bracket. And now True Rippers, they're going to embrace this opportunity, welcome Team EXO into the lower bracket with open arms. And now True Rippers, they will say, yep,
Revenge.
you got us here in the first place, but this is our turf. Now, welcome to it. EXO and True Rippers, both of them in the lower bracket now. I don't know how tomorrow's matchup is going to go, but I'm pretty sure that both these teams will be revisiting the old demos and trying to figure out each other's weaknesses once again, just so that they don't get counter-stratted in tomorrow's match.
It's gonna be interesting because True Rippers, it's their chance to finally switch up the tides. It's their chance to go on down over to the first ever grand finals in our 3 seasons of Gauntlet. They had a really rough time in season number 2 and a even rougher time in season number 1 when you consider everything. They came on over onto playoffs like an absolute dark horse. They had no business winning out on all of their games. They took down ENIGMA, mind you, right before this after a very gruesome victory. And now they're facing off against EXO.
Yeah.
Their last hurdle to try and take on Velocity and possibly send them back home. Who knows what's going to happen here.
Story.
If it is a Cinderella story, that's gotta be one to remember. But at the same time, we're talking about the side of EXO and Velocity. Do they think they're gonna give up really easily? Oh hell no! It's gonna be an intense fight. And hey, if you don't want to miss out on any of that action, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell to get notified when we do go live. And as you're down there dabbling with those buttons, make sure to check out Crucial 656, Cosmic Byte, and Aimlab as well. Because if you want to get your aim crispy, you need the proper gear, and you also need to look really good as well. Just like this jersey, make sure to use the code of your favorite team to get a little bit of a discount and also support your squads as well from back at home. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Chris, signing on off. We're going to be seeing you tomorrow with the lower bracket decider finals with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial. Our apparel partners are 656, accessory partners Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner is none other than Aimlab. Good night and happy gaming, everyone.
One, two, three, let's go.